I should probably turn this off. Let's have a look at the codex while we wait. Oh, this is definitely something that could do with some images. The phrasing here on the text could be a little more clear, I think. This is something that's a little confusing in general, is that like you have an ability card, you have a top ability and a bottom ability. No, actions. Ability cards have actions on them. You have a top half and a bottom half, each of them is an action, I think. And yeah, each half of an ability card oh no, wait. Yeah, each half of an ability card contains a unique action that comprises of one or more abilities. So on an action, if it says like the top of my card is move 2, attack 3, move 2, for example, just as a random example. Each of the two moves and the attacks are each an individual ability, often attack or of an action, so to speak. Like basically, the verbiage there is a little fucky, and I think that is something the game overall needs to be a little bit more clear on. Prologue. Banner Spirit, class info. Again, this is also one that definitely could do with some images to show the templates and flipping them. Anyway. Let me refresh to make sure Twitch is not aggressively lying to me. Okay, it is just lying to me, very good. Could be worse, I suppose. Oop, okay. Let's get this going then. I say starting by coughing my lung out. Continue. So we were in between two missions that were mandatory linked. We are now fighting the Vermling Chieftain after having very much struggled in the previous mission. Although we did succeed and we did get all of the perk points that we could, so that was cool. We got all the battle goals. Let's see if we can complete this little boss scenario as well. We have a boss, we have Vermling Scouts, and we have Vermling Priest Elite as our opponents to deal with. You. I probably want Tip of the Spear on you, honestly. Not entirely sure which card to get rid of. Probably don't need super much movement on this one, so I can possibly get rid of you in favor of Tip of the Spear. And the reason I want Tip of the Spear is because it has Pierce 3 built in, so we can hurt the priests a little bit. So that might be helpful. It's also one of the AoE ones that is reasonably accomplishable. We also have a perk point. We have 2 perk points actually, because we leveled apparently, and we did the battle goal last time. Very good. So we got the ignore item effects one. Like ignore item downsides and movement -1. Is there any passive that I really want? I do think this is pretty decent. Once per scenario we can say I have 2 armor for this turn. Could be significantly worse. We also don't have a remove the -2 card in this deck, which is a bit unfortunate. This could also be okay since we're in a 4-man party. I'll click on this. I think this is nice to have. Oh, this costs 2 points, I see, so this was basically the one time I could do this anyway. Fair enough. You don't have to be able to, or you don't have to spend both of those points at once, it's not mandatory. But you can like make partial progress on them. It's nice when you have both points available to just get it over with and send that thing. So for you, we also ignored item effects and added a +1, and this one allows us to ignore quest effects and add a +1. I'm gonna click on that, because I'm a fan of those sort of things. This is 1 free loot token each scenario, which is kind of nice. We probably want this sooner rather than later. I would like to get rid of the -2 though, to be fair. Let's take this. This is guaranteed value. I have to click on this. I can't resist. It's too much for me. I forgot to change your deck last time after you leveled up, Deathwalker, so we should try to fix that. I'm a little torn. So for one, I want to really get rid of, these two are really, really good, basically. I really want them. This attack modifier deck becomes absurd over time. Like, we remove all of the negative cards, aside from the miss, which we can never remove. But yeah, we remove all 5 of the -1s and we remove the -2, so we will have no more negative attack modifiers in the deck, which is absurdly strong. Like, that is very, very good, very consistent, and some of the other stuff we can add is also really good. So yeah. This character gets very nutty for attack damage later. I was considering clicking on Cloak of Shadows, which means if we're standing in a shadow, everyone that attacks us has disadvantage, which is nice. I used that when I was playing with Rufford, but I don't think we need that in a 4-man group. I shouldn't be getting attacked that often, and if I do randomly get attacked, I might likely not have a shadow below me anyway, so I think we're either doing the 2 -1s out or the -2 out. Let's take the -2 out. Then we do the -1s next time. And your deck, I forgot to change like I said, so let's do this. We want Restless Spirits in. I don't think I want Anger of the Dead. Or was wondering why I was not running Wave of Anguish. I don't know if I should be running Wave of Anguish. We have been able to get a decent number of shadows onto the field most of the time. I could run it over either Dark Fog maybe, or Call of Doom. Call of Doom is like nice for the move 3 mixed shadow. I don't really need move much on this class, that's the thing I guess, but you know what, let's give it a try. So we have that over that now, and we have this card. I don't massively love Dark Fog either. I really like that the class has generally decent stamina. Meaning you have a lot of time until you run out of cards. And having more loss actions means we have less of that. But we are running into a lot of small enemies currently with all the Vermlings and shit, so maybe this is still pretty important to have. Sorry, I just ate, so my throat is being a little fucky. I might get rid of the Strength of the Abyss, actually. It's not a lost top, but like this bottom is something we'll probably never play. And this is rather situational. Yeah, seems fine. You have perk point as well, 2 even, very good. So, we are going to do 2 things. We're gonna grab... where is it? This one. So Geminate is weird because Geminate can add another 2 times multiplier to their attack modifier pile. It has a massive downside though, which is that we brittle ourselves when doing that. So when we draw this card, we do double damage, but we ourselves get brittle, which is the perk where your next attack or the next damage source that you take gets doubled. To go with that, we'll click on this. Acquired resistance once per game, or once per quest rather, we can say no to one of the conditions that we ourselves would give ourselves. When you would give yourself a negative condition, prevent the condition. So basically this allows us to say no to the brittle when we draw it. It's a little annoying to have to basically spend 2 perks for this. And we don't have to. There are situations where the brittle is not going to be that bad. But I think it's worth it. Like having another crit basically in the draw pile is really, really nice. Okay, Battle Goals. Never use a potion as a freebie for now, because we don't have access to potions yet. Never exit X adjacent to an enemy except through forced movement. That is a little bit more annoying than you'd think, because that means you can't reposition while you're standing next to a guy. So like you can't really change the positioning angle you have, which is really annoying for Banner Spear especially, because we have to often line up to do AoE attacks or be in the right position adjacent to our mates. So I think I'll just click on this one for the free point. Kill 5 or more monsters is probably possible. Kill 1 or more elite, or 2 or more for 4 heroes is probably doable. Apply a negative condition to an enemy that already has 1 or more negative conditions. Did we have the poison dagger on you? No, we have the cleaving axe for now. We're not applying many conditions with our current Drifter build. I think I'll just try to get 5 kills total. That should be doable in this scenario. Never collect loot from end of turn looting. Perform no attack abilities in the first 3 rounds. Not great. We could technically activate the buff, play Eclipse, and summon our minion as the 3 actions that we would take, like the 3 top actions. That's not abysmally bad, but it would make for a pretty bad start. 2 perk points are pretty good though. Kill an enemy not adjacent to you while you are adjacent to another enemy. I don't want to be adjacent to enemies, but otherwise this would be relatively doable. Fuck it, let's be greedy. Let's try getting Prepper done. We might have to just abandon this if it looks bad at the start. You're targeted by attacks from 3 or more enemies in the same round. Actually doable. End each of your turns adjacent to a wall or obstacle. Trying to remember the map layout. I don't think I want that. It's possibly doable though. It is kind of annoying because we have melee turns here and there. It's weird that this game doesn't have continuous music, by the way. I wanted to point this out, because the music that was playing on the main screen and at the start of this was fine. But now that I'm sitting here for longer after having looked at my cards and perks, and now I'm thinking about the battle goals, the game has been silent for minutes now, which feels really weird. I feel like they should maybe either add a second track and then have them loop, or even just make your 1-track loop, I guess. Or give me the option at least to have it loop. Okay, these are both a little on the greedy side, but I think we can possibly do them.
Surprise grips you as you crest the ridge. Below, the vermling camp sprawls like a festering wound. Far larger, far more organized than expected. These aren't mere bandits. This is a war host in the making. You tighten your grip on the blade, every ounce of strength and resolve flowing into your arms. This won't be a skirmish. It'll be a reckoning. And you intend to be the last one standing.
Yeah, organized wounds are probably worse, honestly, than random ones, aren't they? Someone actually trying to actively hurt you probably can do more damage than just random scratches here and there. Alright, Turtle? Hello, hello. This is a good tip. Your characters don't need food, but you do. Stay hydrated and eat well. You don't tell me what to do again, but I'll do it anyway, probably. Yeah, how dare you? Shit game, I don't eat. Okay, so this is our scenario. It's a little funky. We have one room again, looking like this. We have some enemies already on the field. We have some scouts here. We have a priest over here in the corner as well, and here. So there's like 2 elite priests, 4 random scouts, and here's our boss. So here's the Vermling War Chief. Bosses always have weird, unique interactions, mechanics, whatever. So this one, let's read the entirety of the text here. We can't read it here in the overview, which feels weird. We have to read it in the smaller text box, but such is life. So at the start of every even-numbered round, all characters gain brittle. So every other turn, everyone on the field. I don't know why it says characters. The board game is weird and says characters when it means all figures. I think the digital version. Sorry, the digital version is weird and says characters when it means figures. So everyone, including the enemies, gets this brittle. At least that's how it was when I last played it. In the board game, it would specify figures when it means that everyone gets it, and then characters would only be the player characters, which, I don't know, maybe not that important of a distinction in some cases, but also pretty important in some other cases. Until the Vermling War Chief is defeated or runs out of reinforcements, which are these at the bottom here, this number is very high, and I'm assuming what happened is that we spent so much time in the last mission that this number got very high. And that's probably what the next mission gets harder if you take long on the previous mission thing was. So yeah, until the Vermling Chief is defeated or runs out of reinforcements, up to 2 Vermling Scouts will spawn on the battlefield at the start of each round, which is here and here. So we're going to be constantly having to deal with more Scouts spawning. The first 4 times the War Chief would take damage each round. That damage is instead redirected to the nearest Vermling Scout. Even when damage is transferred this way, any conditions will still be applied to the War Chief, unless he's immune to them. So that's why he has this little bubble effect on him here, which means that every time we hit him, his minions take the damage first, basically, for the first 4 damage instances a turn. And he has 12 reinforcements remaining. So, we ideally want to... Well, we have to clean up anyway. We can't really just go in and get it done. So we'll have to play this more or less properly. Can't just bum rush him because of the shield. Well, that's really pretty much it for the game, I suppose, or for the start of this. So I want to have the Geminate over here mostly, because that is close to walls and obstacles, so he doesn't need to leave the walls, and thus doesn't lose this thing, which would be nice. Oh yeah, you can't attack for the first couple of rounds, so let's make sure we don't accidentally botch that. So let's start by selecting the cards that we want. I'll just play these 2 for you. I probably want to get going relatively quickly, but I do need to buff first anyway. I'm gonna do both of these buffs. Are masteries available in this? They are. I'm tempted to try... Oh, oops, I clicked on the wrong card again. I'd keep doing that, whoops. Good thing I noticed before it was too late. Okay, I don't even have 4 permanent bonuses currently in my deck, so I can't try for that mastery. Good. As in, good to know. Do I need the armor here on you? I wonder. Because I feel like I want to just walk up. But I might want to walk up a little later, so let's walk and throw Javelin, and we'll not do the armor buff and see how bad this goes for us. And then you finally. We're probably too far away to do anything in melee, so let's start with you in ranged form. We're gonna be wanting to do AoEs later, I think, because like I've mentioned, they keep spawning. Oh yeah, the boss also has specific actions. So for one, they have some of the basic stuff that their class has. So like the basic attack and twin shots are, I think, normal scout actions. But they also have 2 specific cards, each of them. One is, in this case, Call Reinforcement, which is move to attack 3 with poison and call 2 reinforcements, adding 2 to the pile. And the other is Call to the Faithful, which is heal yourself by 4 and summon a Vermling Priest Elite, which is really annoying because the priests are really bad. So the boss does extra strong or extra nasty bullshit here and there, which is something we'll have to deal with. I will probably just walk up and kill one of the guys, which will also transform me into melee afterwards. I think I want to be late. Everyone is going pretty late, so I want to also be late down here, so they move towards me first, and we'll see how that goes. Angry Hex, you would like to walk 4 and then curse. I think you are too far away for that. Good, because I hate having curses in my deck. And these guys are actually so slow that they are not acting before me at all. Weird, but they are only attacking at melee today, they're not moving, so they just stand and swing. So as long as I'm not standing next to anyone, we should be fine. So I want to go here, which is gonna block you, but that's probably okay. I don't want to stand next to the guy because otherwise I'll just take a swing for no reason. So we go here, throw javelin. Which of these is more important? I'm not really sure it matters too much. Maybe you. We draw a -2 to start off as our first attack modifier of the day. Very good, classic cube experience. You want to be adjacent to walls. I need to go onto this so we are constantly aware, because otherwise I will forget and it will be very sad. And then we attack and pull a guy. Let's take this guy. +1, so he dies. Very good. Change shape. So we activate our buff, move forwards. Don't move the shadow. We could eat this wind that we just made to make some shadow. I got rid of the wind card, didn't I? Yeah. Oh, no, wait, there it is still. So we might want to actually use this wind tomorrow, and we're not using the shadow tomorrow, so it doesn't really matter. I just realized. Makes a new priest. Very annoying. Activate 2 buffs on the drifter. And then all of you want to attack at melee and you have no turrets. New guys spawn next round. And everyone just got brittled. So... like I said, brittle is pretty dangerous because brittle doubles the next damage you take. These guys have 4 HP on this difficulty rather than 3 in addition to their 3 armor. That is very mean. I'm probably using the wind to slap a guy today. I think my Geminid will go here and eat these two, or try to anyway. So I could go here and punch this guy. I would have to get really lucky to be able to hit these for meaningful damage, given the 3 armor. I do probably have to end up moving up anyway, regardless of what my other plans are. I think I'll just pull up, heal myself to get rid of the brittle, and then slap... Well, depending on what they do, I'll either try doing some damage to one of these, or I'll maybe kill this guy. Okay, you, my friend. What are you doing today? You're probably a little too far away to do anything particularly helpful. I do have the top action heal this time. Need to move far, so I'm using Deadly Shot for that, and then we'll just heal someone to get rid of the brittle. I guess I could also Draining Arrows, but it's probably not particularly helpful right now. Yeah. Okay, you want to Eclipse, so you can place some shadows, ideally one next to us, so we can summon our friend next turn. For the other action, we'll probably just either activate some bullshit or move a little. I was gonna say I'm probably not using that this early, but we might actually end up using that pretty early. I don't think I get into range to actually poison anyone. Unless something very strange happens. Especially not anyone where it actually helps. I'll click on this and we might either move or replay the move all my shadows thing. I'm not sure yet. We'll figure it out. So, do I have a move 4 that does not exhaust? I don't think I do. No. Viewers. There you are. Not really though, you're bots, but hey. I'm gonna once again, for fun, try for the challenge where we change forms every time until something goes horribly wrong. So I'll move here with a jump, which also lets me change forms afterwards, and then we eat both of these for 2 damage, and we'll see how that goes. So the War Chief calls more reinforcements. He also moves up a little bit, which is nice. The priests only heal today and bless themselves. That is a little scary. Bless, as a reminder, if you get blessed, you add a double damage card to your attack modifier pile. So whenever they draw that, we'll get slapped very hard, which is not great. And all the scouts shoot with poison today. That is also not ideal. Not really something I want to say. Move 3. You will definitely be able to shoot me, I think. No, actually, you can't from there. I think I'll just go here and see if we miraculously manage to do some damage to the priest with our 2 damage attack. So I heal myself for 1 with regen, not because of the actual HP that we get from it, but rather because we get rid of the brittle that way. We could... Well, we either punch this guy with advantage and hope we draw at least a +1, which will then kill him. No, that will do half of his HP and damage. Or we just pretty safely kill this guy. There's literally no way for that to fail if we were to kill that guy. But there's a pretty high likelihood the Geminate can eat him anyway, so I think... I would have to draw either double damage or +2 to kill this guy, and my attack modifier deck isn't particularly solid. +1 we only do 2 damage, but any damage is helpful, although they will heal each other a little bit. Let's gamble. Yeah, we do 2 damage and they're gonna heal him, but that's fine. Okay. Next is War Chief, goes here, adds 2 more reinforcements to the pile. A very large pile of reinforcements. Move 4. Then we heal someone for 3, so their brittle goes away. Let's do the Geminate, because he's actually moving forwards a little bit. I could use the Amulet of Life on myself, but we are... you're probably not actually getting poisoned. 1 and then 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you're not in range, so that is probably fine to use right now. Okay, Geminate next. We jump here as planned. I could have jumped here actually and eaten both of these, and then you could have killed this guy. I forgot that I had the shoes and actually had enough reach to get here. I will do that anyway, even though it's a little sub. So let's start by stabbing this guy for 2. That is a very dead Gremling, very nice. And then we stab this guy for 2. And this is not a dead Gremling, not nice. I wanted too much. Change form. Now it's shooting time. Shoots me with a disadvantage for only 1 damage, but I still get the poison. You don't do anything. Wait, who was that? That guy? Thought it was you, but they didn't move away. It was him. Why did he not move away to avoid having disadvantage? Oh, he has disadvantage on me anyway because of my wind thingy that we activated. Nice, that makes sense. Okay. I may as well take the 2 damage. So there's a reason to not just use the shield on the first instance of damage that you take, and that is because of Brittle. Brittle is weird because it multiplies the final damage instance that you take, basically, or like the final number of damage after all the calculations. So basically, if something hits me for 3, then Brittle will double that to 6. If I get hit for 3 and then I have 1 armor, I will reduce the 3 down to 2, which will then get doubled to 4 total. So having 1 armor when I'm brittle is twice as valuable as having the armor when I'm getting regularly attacked. So I'm trying to save the armor for when I need it. Or the kite shield in general, rather, for when I need it. Okay, I'm gonna move forward rather than moving my shadows. Not just because there's a loot pile, but also because I want my character to be a little closer because we're summoning our minion, and the minion needs to be closer to the actions, and that's now. Loot found, 3 bucks. Priests pull up in here and bless themselves. And the problem is they all do that, so they all add 1 bless to the monster deck. For curses and blessings, the way it works is for your player characters, each one has their own deck. So if you get cursed on the Blink Blade, well, we don't have a Blink Blade. If we get cursed on the Banner Spear has a curse in their attack modifier deck, but it is not in the Geminate Drifter or Deathwalker's deck. Same with Blessing, it's the same shit. Monsters essentially all draw from the same attack pile, so if I curse a Vermling Scout, this curse affects any monster, basically. Like, it's just 1 curse in the monster attack deck. And same for Blesses, so these guys just added 3 Blesses to the monster attack deck. This could be the boss hitting me for very hard later, this could be this guy shooting me for 1 or something. No matter, they all draw from the same deck, so these Blesses are gonna be, likely at least, a little bit annoying. Speaking of a little bit annoying, I am not in a good position here to actually use my Pierce attack, which is unfortunate. Oh fuck, I also already used it for movement, so I can't even do that. I was gonna go here, move one of my companions up so I can do like a double stab in this direction, but I used the tip of the spear for movement earlier because I'm dumb. Whoops. So I'll probably just combined effort this priest to start putting some damage into them. It's gonna be a pretty dicey life for our Banner Spear up here. They did swarm me a little harder than I anticipated. I don't have a push, do I? No. Oh, this actually has push on it. Ooh, that is really good actually, never mind. Okay, so we're doing this and this, which is super slow. I guess I could arguably do this instead. Yeah, because I can move the Drifter up and then use the Drifter for the teammate attack. Yeah, okay. So my plan is, looking at this template up here, I can use this if I pull one of my friends into the square, or this hex rather, and then I can target all 3 of these with an attack that does 3 damage. Now that's not very high, given that these priests have 1 or 3 armor each, so that's on average 0 damage, but it has push 1 on it as well, so I can push each affected guy by 1 tile, meaning that we can push this guy into this trap, which kills him, I think. I think they do 4 damage. Oh yeah, right, that was the weird UI thingy where it like weirdly flickers. Yeah, it does 4 damage, okay, and this one as well. So I can push this guy into this trap, and this will kill both of them, which is fantastic. So that's what I'm gonna try to do here. Hoping at least I'm fast enough. I noticed that I did the slow card first, so I was at 83, which is not ideal. One thing the game does, which is a little annoying, having played the Tabletop Simulator version a lot, you would put a card into the first slot and a card into the second slot. If I then take away the card in the first slot, I can just put another card into the first slot. And like I have described before, the first slot dictates which card is drawn for initiative. So the card in the first slot dictates my speed. If I say, okay, I'm gonna click on Resolve Courage and Unbreakable Wall. Now number 1 is Resolved Courage, number 2 is Unbreakable Wall. If I now unselect Resolved Courage, in my brain the first slot is now empty. So I click this and I click Regroup, because now I'm putting Regroup in the empty first slot. That's not how the digital version handles it. You might have noticed that it changed and now Unbreakable Wall is number 1 and this is number 2. Basically, the moment I unselect the first card, the second card moves up into the first slot, which makes sense enough, like that's fair enough, but it is not how I'm used to thinking about it, so that catches me off guard sometimes, and I accidentally go late as a result, which can be pretty bad. Yeah, so one of you two gets pulled in here at initiative 25, so I want to ideally be a little slower. I do want to get rid of these priests as quickly as I possibly can, so I'm probably going to be fortituding this guy here. And I want to fortitude him in melee, so I have to act after the push. So Fortitude is a melee attack with Pierce 2 built in, which allows me to ignore some of the armor. I can also spend one of my buff charges to give it 2 range, so I could attack him at range from here. However, we have this this buff active up here, which gives my melee attacks +2 damage, so I want to actually go and slap him in melee, rather than from slightly further away. So we'll act on 31 and hope that's fast enough. And my bottom action I'll just move forward with. Might actually be this to get the buff charge back. Wait, I'll be playing that first, so I won't have the buff charge lost yet. Don't really need the heal, so I'm not really that interested in playing Vile Assault. What are your initiatives anyway? You're very likely before me, which is a little annoying. This plan is a little flimsy. If this guy, for example, goes into melee over here, he will block me from being able to do my bullshit, so maybe I should be fast. Maybe I should be going fast on one of my characters. Could be you, actually. I want to be at least before this card. The other cards don't really matter too much. They're ranged attacks, so they're not going to be moving. But I want to be before this card. So I could do this as a basic move here, and then I summon my shadow in this slot. Or not my shadow, but like my guy. Let's do that, that seems reasonable. And then you can move independently of what the fuck is going on. I didn't give you the shoes, did I? No, so you don't have jump. So if this plan doesn't work out, you'd be a little fucked. I now also need to move 3. So yeah, let's assume that's what we're doing here then. So you are in range form right now, which is not optimal for me, but it is probably fine. I want to ideally transform back after my action. This actually looks pretty decent here. I can do this to shoot a guy and this to heal my banner spear. 1, 2, 3, 4. I would be shooting the boss, which has 1 armor. That is a little bit lame. Maybe I don't do this. Oh, I could also move and do the Scarab flight here and hit all 3 of these. That sounds pretty cool. Assuming I'm fast enough to do that. Like, I could go up 1 tile and then we hit all 3 of these. Oh, it's range 3 or 4 only, so I'd have to be up here. But yeah, that should be fine. Let's do that. That seems good for you. So let's hope I act early enough. Very good. They're all very late. So we have a pretty good turn lined up here, I think. So I want to go here. And then I summon, eating this shadow, placing my guy here. Which means now the banner spear has an ally standing next to them. So now I can use this template. Why is this guy still being highlighted as attack 6? Is it just because it's a possible target? I think it's just because it's a possible target, because this looks like I have this correct here. Yeah, okay. Confirm. Even do 1 damage to this guy. How nice. Unbreakable will push select target. Oh, it's for this guy. I was wondering. I didn't realize that this was the only highlighted square where he could go, so I was just a little confused. And you go here, and just like we planned, both of these guys are dead. Very, very good. I can now also either move or give 2 of my allies move 3. What are we doing? You're multi-shotting today, which is not ideal. Because this guy only has 1 HP, which makes him very quick to disappear from this world. I could move you over here. And hope that the Geminate will kill all these. And if not, at least they'll have disadvantage. That's probably the safest spot for you to be, and then we can just move the Drifter up, because why not? Or I could myself move 2 tiles higher and just stand here for future preparations. You're just healing yourself. Yeah, maybe I will just move myself rather than protect this guy. It might be more valuable to try and protect him. How much are we doing? 2, so this is probably not dying on average. No, let's move you, I guess. So you go here, which is probably the safest spot for you to be, and then someone else gets to move. That is going to be you. I'll just move you forwards. That still works out pretty well overall, I think. So we need to be 3 or 4 ranged away to use this, so we go 2 higher. Just out of range of the loot, but that is fine. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 on all of you. Which seems fine. And then we use this template. Like so, attacking all of these for 2 damage each. We drew a full -2 on this guy, that is a bit of a shame. I could push him here, which means he doesn't target the shadow. I think that's good, let's do that. Okay, de-Rifter turn. I'm gonna start by punching this priest and hopefully killing him. I am not actually doing that, never mind, my bad. I did not mean to click on that. Let's try again. So this card, we attack you for 5 with Pierce 2, and you have essentially 7 HP, so that should be good. Assuming we don't draw anything too bad. Let's see how this goes. Nice, that is a dead priest. I could do 2 spill damage onto one of you. I'm gonna save that for later, for when you summon the next priest, which is coming up very, very soon. And now I can move 3 and stand somewhere that will put me adjacent to exactly 1 enemy, so I can get one of my charges back. Or I just go here, so I'm in the sort of area where I can be most effective. They shoot at range 4, so they always will have a target here. Is it worth sacrificing the slightly better position? It's probably not gonna be that much better anyway. I'll just eat the... Like, if I go here, this guy has disadvantage on me, which slightly reduces the damage he does, but he has only 1 base damage anyway, so it's probably fine. And if I'm here, he spawns his new guy. When this tile fills with an enemy, it's going to be possibly up here, which would be out of range, which is a shame. So instead I'll stand here, which gives me one of my buff charges back, and then the guy that spawns will be here, which is fine with me. Okay, let's see how this goes. So you heal and summon another priest. You shoot me for absolutely nothing. And you shoot this guy for a bless 4. Do I burn a card for this? 4 damage is a lot, but I don't think I need to burn yet. You do 1 for me, and 1 for the spirit, probably, yep. Actually 2 because of the poison. That's probably fine. Nothing for you. 3 for the banner spear. Okay, I might just use the... No, fuck it, we'll use the shield next time. Then you draw another double. This was all the blesses, I think, they added to the pile, so that's good that they're gone. And you draw another double. You have drawn 3 double damage attacks on my Deathwalker. Like, are you fucking kidding me, game? Are we okay? Is this really necessary? Is this really what we have to deal with? Okay, I think we're getting rid of you, maybe, actually. Might get rid of a Lingering Rot here. I don't know if it's that good of a card in this battle. Here come the reinforcements. And everyone gets brittle. Okay, so... I'm immediately a little low HP on the old Banner Spear, which makes me unhappy. I have the fear of her dying. I'm probably gonna combine effort. I summon a guy here and then hit this guy for 3 with a bleed. They're probably faster than me, which is a little unfortunate, but such is life in the zone. For you... It's weird, sometimes the game uses the old brittle icon. This is the brittle icon here, this like blue one with the cracks on it is the icon that the board game uses, and this one with the slight crack on the helmet is the new one that the digital version uses. So this is accidentally using a placeholder, which is weird. Don't really have any good, whatchamacallit, AoE or anything on you. Do have a bottom attack action, which is nice. This is very slow, unfortunately. I want to play these 2 attacks because these are relatively weak attacks, but I get to swing twice this turn. That would be pretty nice, I think, but I'm very late in initiative, so I don't know if that's good enough. I could instead do this bottom action to heal my Banner Spear a little, get rid of the poison and brittle, which is a horrifying combination. It's also really fast, so aside from the priests, nobody should be able to go before me there. And then I can just do a normal attack for my top action. Actually, I can use the Cleaving Hatchet to kill one of the other guys because they're brittle. I don't really want to Vile Assault these because that is a little too much damage for these guys. They're probably not that bad. So I think I'll do this combination. That should work out okay. Good, so you have now spent 3 turns not attacking, so I can finally start attacking people, which is nice. Where do we start? I think we'll simply Fluid Knight this priest and hope that kills him. Since he's also gonna get a 3+ bleed from my Banner Spear, at least potentially, that should be good enough. I could guaranteed kill him with the bottom of Restless Spirits, but I don't get a shadow from that. That's probably fine, actually. I don't think I'm gonna be struggling that much for spirits. For shadows, I mean. Yeah, the guaranteed kill with that seems pretty appealing. And then I just use the top basic melee to kill this Vermling. This makes my Banner's turn kinda not great. I could play the Banner. I don't really have a good top action to play regardless. I think I'll just leave it at this, and if you don't have a target for the combined effort attack, then that's probably a good sign overall. Like, that is gonna be a bit of a wasted turn, but at least that means you're probably not in danger of dying. You could go over here and start murdering people. I'm gonna assume the priest dies, but you standing next to this is still a good thing, because it means if it doesn't die, then we're gonna be still at least able to do some damage. We are trying to make you change forms every turn currently. Don't have a great way of doing that. Actually, I can hit both of these with drag down, can't I? So I go here, do drag down, hitting both of these, that seems good. No, I don't think I can. Oh, that is such an annoying template to line up in my brain. Yeah, I don't think I have a way of doing that. Now, that is without having, or while standing next to an obstacle or wall, because you have the wallflower battle goal, so I need you to be next to a wall or next to this obstacle. So I can only stand here, really, if I want to be meleeing this guy. And standing here, I don't think I can hit two people with drag down. Unless I'm misbraining this template. I guess I could hit the priest and this guy, but I'm assuming the priest is dead by that point. Would like to hit the boss. Is the boss immune to disarm? It is immune to disarm, stun, poison, and muddle. Oh, poison as well, that's a shame. I do only have two ways of changing back currently from melee. I mean, just hitting the boss for 1, which gets doubled to 2, is probably not terrible. I wonder if that's gonna work. Actually, let's find that out, because I'm curious about that now. I've talked myself into it. So I'm gonna try... actually, what is my movement card for this? It's probably this, isn't it? I need to be not too fast though. Okay, so what I'm thinking is, we hit the boss with Hornet Stingers, it does 1 damage. This gets doubled because of the brittle to 2 damage, and then the damage gets put onto one of the minions instead, which is this guy. This guy is also brittle, and I wonder if that gets doubled to 4 damage afterwards. So let's find out if that's how it works, because I could see that being the thing that happens, but I could also see that being like, nah, he doesn't take the 1 damage and the 1 damage gets spilled over rather than it being doubled first. Ah, never mind, nothing happens in this way, because the priests draw their fucking Initiative 8 Disarm card. My favorite. Oh, they missed. Thank God. Good. Oh, very good. I was hard worried. Okay, I think that then does not mess with me too badly. So we're using the bottom action here to heal you, and by heal I mean get rid of poison and brittle. And then we're Violent Inheritancing one of you. I don't think it matters which one we pick, so let's take the one that's closer to the rest of my party. You die, you use the cleaver to kill this guy. Do I kill that guy or the one in the corner? No, I kill this guy, that's fine. And then we get a loot action. Hoovering up all of the lovely loot. Very good. Oh yeah, my beast exists. Right, Shadow Beast, go get him. Nice. We get another shadow. I'll place one... Fuck, I've already forgotten what I do with you today. Oh yeah, we move one of the shadows under the priest, so it guaranteed dies. And the other action was gonna be a basic slap on this guy, which is now irrelevant. Where do I want this shadow? Do I have a reason to have it anywhere in particular? Let's go here in case we need to start helping clearing out these guys. Okay, actually, I probably want to use this thing on you, right? This is also actually not a terrible Dark Fog. But why would I Dark Fog here when I'm killing the priest anyway? The boss shoots people today. Not great, but could be worse, I suppose. You're just gonna go here. I mean, I can't really say no to the guaranteed kill on the priest. Those fuckers are way too annoying. And then we just skip this top action, I think. May as well loot this. 1 metal. Very good. Okay, so now I was gonna try out the poison stingers thing to see how that works out. So I moved basic 2 here. And since the priest has moved, I'm only hitting the actual boss rather than the priest and the boss. Can't poison you, and you also would get poisoned by the attack anyway, so it does not matter. That is how that worked, isn't it? Oh wait, no, I drew... No, with attack 1, I draw a +0, the boss gets hit, which becomes 2 damage. It didn't remove the boss's brittle for some reason, and then instead the fucking minion eats the damage and the minion's damage gets doubled for some reason as well. Okay. I'm not complaining because that is in my favor, but that is a little weird, and I don't think that should really be the case, that he still has the brittle on him. Like, that's the part where I'm like, what the hell? Why is that a thing? That seems a little too good. But yeah, I mean, I'm not complaining. That is fine with me. Okay, I'm gonna summon my minion here, I reckon. My reinforcement guy. And I'm gonna just summon him right in front of the boss, so it eats the damage from me. And I can't attack because I'm disarmed, and I'm also not in a position to do it anyway, so we'll just call it a banner turn here. This guy loots a bunch of garbage. You go here and shoot both of these. Okay, we have 2 more cards in this deck. Let us do... I wonder if I should be placing the banner. I would like the banner. It is a boss scenario, so this is one of the turns where or the scenarios where it would actually make sense to have a banner near the boss for all of my party members to just do a bunch of damage. But I could also walk here and stab the boss for a pretty good owl. I guess we'll make that depend on what they draw, or like what attacks they do. My aversion to being slow in the turn order is getting the better of me. I think I'll have to be slow at some point anyway, so I may as well tank it right now-ish. How fast are you guys? More than half of your deck is faster than what I'm planning to do anyway, so I don't really need to think too hard about it, I don't think. Bit of a shame still, but yeah. So if I have the opportunity to do this, I would like to sit here and play these 2 cards. Because I can shoot the boss for 2 and get one of my charges back, and I can hit this guy for 1 with the bottom action to kill that guy. I would do it in the opposite order, for efficiency. However, I'll probably be too late and these guys might have moved at that point, which means I'll probably have to change my turn, but that's okay as well. It's probably gonna be a decent turn regardless. Okay, and then we have you left. You want to... Oh, I still have Fluid Knight. I didn't get to play it on anything yet. Interesting. Oops. May as well go... Teleport here, shoot these 2. That doesn't seem too good. I guess I'll just have to figure out my turn when we see what the enemies do. Okay, and for you, we're definitely doing this bottom action so you can transform back. And top action was... I would have to play a loss card either way. I might do this one. Which gives me a ward, an XP. No, you know what, I'll just do this. Ideally, I'm early enough in the turn order that I don't confuse any of my teammates. Yep, they are very fast today compared to what I'm trying to do here on Mr. Drifter. You melee and call reinforcements today. That's a little scary. You are going to be going for the Geminate. If I place the banner, that means you die. The banner, that is, would die. So my initiative is high enough that if I place the banner here, for example, where it would probably be in the most helpful spot right now, the boss will just go here and slap it and kill it. It doesn't guarantee to die, in fairness, because it has 4 HP and the boss slaps for 3 on average. But it is pretty likely to just die, especially in the future, so I don't know if I want that. If that does happen, that is at least tanking for my Geminade, which is also okay. Alternatively, I just walk up, stab you with Immobilize, which you're not immune to. But then you don't need to go anywhere because I'll be the one to get slapped anyway. Nah, fuck it, let's play the banner and hope it works out. Let's do a little bit more gambling. Oh, -1, nice. Banner alive. Okay. So, we are going to be... Oh yeah, right, you survived that on paper. Let's start with this then, because this will get doubled and then kill this guy. What? Oh, Banner of Strength, right. Do I want a Banner of Strength this? Yeah, sure, why not? Actually, no, with a banner I might start with this attack, actually. I don't know if that makes sense, fuck it. Okay, you die, we go here, we attack you. Absolutely no damage, and I muddle the poor banner spear and the banner itself. Oh no, how terrible. They're probably gonna long rest, so it matters absolutely not. Okay, Shadow Beast turn, gonna slap this guy, we will... Wait, did it just... Wait, what did I just click there? Oh, if I wanted to use the banner, right. I clicked on this thinking that it was marking for death on this guy, but no, we are choosing to use the banner on the summon, and we want that, yeah. So let's place a shadow here for anything that spawns. As for the Deathwalker herself, the boss is now adjacent to the shadow, so we could do a little stabbing. That means we have one less guy shooting. Or I could go and get... I'll just walk here and shoot the boss itself without eating this shadow. That might be preferable, because I might want the shadow in the future. Less XP though. I could teleport here actually. Oh, but then I can't shoot the 2 guys. Oh, if only I could do both actions from this one, that would be really good. I kinda like the cheeky teleport here though. I don't know why. It's probably not a great idea. I could also teleport here, but that seems like an even worse idea. Okay, let's do that, fuck it. Okay, and then we eat this shadow to stop this guy. Oh yeah, I have the spear, so I have range 2 if I need to. So I could stab the backline guy instead. Yeah, let's do that. And we are using the Banner of Strength as well, and we are marking him for died. Very good. New shadow for me. I don't need to eat the element to make a new one because we are good on elements. You shoot my drifter, but you miss. Very nice. I would like to get a bleed on you. You do heal yourself quite frequently, so you're probably gonna cleanse it pretty quickly. But it would be nice. What are we currently looking at in terms of buffs? The thing is, if I go here and slap the boss, this guy will die anyway, so I don't really need to go there and slap him. But that being said, if I stand here, I'm in a good position to just kill the next guy that spawns. So I probably will do that. Alright, Ard. Long time no frost. Very dead, that guy. Roar. Okay, it's long rest time for the banner. It is slap this idiot go time for my the Rifter. Might shoot this to kill him. We'll see. It's long rest time for the Deathwalker. Don't really have a good bottom action that I want to do here. So I'll probably just do this so I'm fast. I'll do drag down on the boss, which will kill... Oh right, if I'm too early, that will kill this guy rather than this guy. I could instead just go here and kill him, that's also fine. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, boss is really fast today, so that means probably goodbye banner, I would presume. Unless he misses or something. Nope, that is a very dead banner. Okay, I will go and waddle my way over here. And I will slap you. For 4, like so. Bonk. I get a good 3 gold coins. Now it's the Rifter turn. I think we're gonna shoot the boss. Because that gives me a regen, which will clear my... I kinda don't need that, to be fair. Because we have this move, which heals as well. I could just basic slap you, and then heal myself and the Deathwalker to get rid of both of our brittles. That's probably better. Yeah, let's do that. That seems a little smarter. So this guy hard dies. We do a little healing. Banner Spear is long resting. Get rid of Unbreakable Wall. I don't really see us playing that anymore. Although that is 2 potential experience points that we're getting rid of. Simply by not being able to burn that at some point. Maybe we do this actually, fuck it. I don't think that was actually the best play, but I didn't really know what to really go for at that point. Big ol' slap on the boss from my sleeping Deathwalker, very good. We get rid of Wave of Anguish, I think. I could eat an element so I have it available next turn. That would allow me to play Forceful Spirits for 3 damage. Sure, why not? Let's eat the ice and make dark. It's weird to do that after the long rest, but such is life in the sun. Okay. Alright, Spectacles. Hello, hello. I can meat grinder you. I think I will. I'll do... I want a reasonably fast basic move, which I guess is you. That's very fast, not just reasonably fast. So I can go here, and then we meat grinder these 2 tiles. This will also protect the Deathwalker from ever being attacked by the boss, probably. Drifter has nappy nap time. Deathwalker, I was going to do a Forceful Spirits here with the Dark to shoot both of these, which is probably pretty good. And as my bottom action, we can... probably just move somewhere. Yeah, I'll take a basic action there just to be good in initiative. And then you need to short rest. I would prefer not losing that one. 2 damage to solve because of the brittle. I assume you can meet element to make the same element. Yeah. It just literally didn't matter in that instance, so I just clicked on whatever. I'll redraw, fuck it. Okay, that's fine. Okay, I want you to be able to transform this turn, so we need to pick something that transforms you. Could do a Mind Spike. My Banner Spear will walk out of range, unfortunately, for the heal. That's not a great top action for me to take. Could do bottom of Selfless Offering with top of Firefly Swarm, just to do damage to this guy, and if the boss summons something we can hit both of those. It's not great. Could always be basic and just do this, and no top action really. I guess I could do... oh wait, no, I can't do 2 of the same thingy, obviously. Could do this as my top action, 1, 2, 3, yeah, that would hit the boss, and then just do the bottom of this to get a heal. That seems good, let's do that. Okay, Vermling Scouts, not very interesting. Boss does spawn a new guy, but they're doing it very late. To be expected, I suppose. So, you go here. That is my only good option for a meat grinder, right? Yeah, fuck it. Okay. So, this now attacks the boss for a little bit, which kills this guy, funnily enough, and gives the boss a bleed. Battle Beast misses. Unfortunate, it's not even a curse, it's just a miss. I don't think there's a curse in my deck, actually. I now have a slightly different plan I could go for here. I could slap him for a 3 and then teleport here to get all this loot. Which is pretty tempting, I must admit. Boss does heal for 4 today, so the bleed is gonna go away, unfortunately. fuck it, that seems fine. Go here, slap guy. Or not a lot. Unfortunate. And then we teleport over onto this to get a bunch of money. Yoink. This essentially just shoots the ad again, but such is life in the zone. Didn't manage to get any actual damage into the boss itself, it's kind of a shame. We go here, we pick up all of this garbage with a little heal, and we change it to melee form so we can slap any idiot that shows up here next turn. 6 more reinforcements, so running low. Drifter rests. The rest of the drifter. Possibly don't need deadly shot. This might be where I start aggressively burning a lot more cards. To just start doing more damage to the boss itself. So everyone's brittle again. Fantastic. You. I could do tip of the spear this time. So if I go here and put my drifter behind me, I can thrust both of these, which would ideally be... like, that would be a great result, basically. Let me make sure I didn't fuck this up. Command effort. I move 2, which gets me here, and then someone within 2 moves 2, which is either of these could go there and do that. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, I just need to be hoping that they go very late, which is not very likely. We don't need no water, let the mother Carter burn. Yeah, we burn them cards. I'm gonna probably no remorse here, go here, slap this guy, and then slap him again. Or no, slap the other guy as well. Yeah, with Fortitude we slap this guy. Yeah, that's what we're doing. So we have 2 attacks that are very strong going for the priest here, which should work out quite well. I could also guaranteed kill the priest with the shadow. Probably don't need to do that. One thing I will have to plan around is the fact that I want my Geminate to be able to transform back. Okay, I have a move with transform here. That should always get me there. If I click on that. But I could also just be very fast in initiative order. And then I can shoot this guy with, or slap this guy I guess with drag down. And then just basic walk here, so I'm in range for next turn where I do the bottom of this. Or the move there. Yeah, I'm pretty good to just keep transforming. Yeah, okay, this is probably gonna work out. Good. That was a minor from 16 turns of previous encounters. So this boss has a shield that says whenever it gets attacked, the first 4 times per turn that it would get attacked, instead the damage is shared with one of its summons, with one of its underlings basically. And it has a limited number of underlings, and since we were very slow in the previous encounter, it had 16 reinforcements at the start of the game, meaning it could summon 16 idiots. It also has a card here, it has 3 copies of, that calls more reinforcements, so it increases the stack, but it only played that once, so we've been slaying a lot of these tiny Vermling Scouts. So it was not great that they had so many reinforcements. It means this is overall taking a lot longer and is a lot harder, but it is definitely not a super problematic or super punishing mechanic in general. So this guy's getting slapped twice with Pierce already, so I probably don't need to play around this guy. And one of these will be hitting the boss as well, meaning if I'm late enough, I can probably ignore this guy existing. I could also click on this card, as a failsafe, I suppose. I think I'll just always play that actually, fuck it. And then we play the bottom of this. Or play the bottom of this. Yeah, let's play the bottom of that seems better. Okay. Fucking priest gets one action in general. Like, they perfectly initiative weaved by being like last in turn order to summon a guy, and then at the start of next guy, the priest gets to initiative 8 range to disarm someone again. Do you get my loot packs from the small vermies, or are they all just properties? No, they are proper enemies. I am getting loot packs for them. Okay, this disarms my banner spear. Also does a very good amount of ow because of the brittle. That sucks, because now I can't do my plan. You are, as planned, slapping this guy for 4, which is now a lot more, because of brittle. And then we just walk base move over here. Actually, I could have probably just stayed here. That should still be in range. And then I would have gotten one more loot pile. Whoops. Can probably fix that next turn anyway, though it doesn't really matter too much. Shadow Beast. Nice, there's the minion gun, so I don't need to worry about that anymore. Now, I can now activate my failsafe, in quotation marks, and kill this guy guaranteed by moving a shadow under it. And I think I'm just gonna do that, actually. I'm not really getting many shadows. I guess I could shoot him first for no damage, but then I get a shadow when he dies. Yeah, that's also a bit of a waste to shoot the boss instead, so yeah, I think that's actually what I'm gonna do. Because if I just shoot the boss and do like 1 damage on average, then I'm gonna do double of 1 damage as my brittle proc, which is not a lot. Whereas if I punch the boss with my drifter, for example, with a base 5, that is potential for a lot of doubled damage. So I should do that. Never thought about Restless Spirits as a bottom attack. This card is absolutely, like, this bottom is nuts. Like, guaranteed 3 damage on a guy is very, very, very helpful in my opinion. Actually, do I even... I probably don't even loot this yet. I can do that later. Okay, so you... do I want to slap him twice, or do I go for a slightly stronger brittle? No, I'll slap him twice, I think that's overall better. Go here, slap boss for 8. With a miss, very good. Never mind. Could move more if I want to, but I don't want to, you can't make me. I'll keep... Nah, fuck it, I'll get a brittle. And then we slap you for 10. Which becomes 12. Very good. Yoink. So, you have been disarmed, so my great plan does not work. Which is a bit of a shame. Can't play either of these delicious attacks. Could move something or someone. I don't know if that was a crit, this would be over. Yeah, that's one of the things that I don't really like about Brittle. It makes boss fights very stupid sometimes. Because, yeah, like you said, if that was a crit, that would have been a one-shot for the boss, I think. That would have been 24 damage. He has 25 max HP. Which, yeah, I think is a little much. That's a little on the silly side for me. Who's getting killed anyway? It's this guy. I could save you. But then I'm not getting loot. I would like to go here and get a loot pile, and then the shadow dies. Guess I could go here and move the shadow 1, so the shadow doesn't die. But then I don't get a loot pile. Ah, fuck it, let's be nice. We're a banner spear, we're a team player. There. Could have moved that guy as well. Keep. Right, William? What the fuck is this? Oh, it's gambling time. Nice. My favorite time. You doing more resi today, or is the stream off for now? I thought that was the plan at least. Hell yeah. Nope, no, most likely. You've committed. You said finishing today, it's finishing today time. Yeah, I thought about reminding you later when I entered the stream. I would have probably forgotten by that point, but I at least thought about it, which is all that I can offer, and orally that matters. So I'm gonna have to be a little careful here, actually, for some of my stuff that I'm planning to do. I'm gonna throw a javelin at this ad and summon my guy here just to tank a little bit. I'm gonna hit you very hard, eating all of my remaining charges, which is probably fine, because there's not really that much more in you. Need to just find collective 7 minutes in my 12 hours of recordings first. Oh boy, Jesus Christ, that is a lot of recordings, good luck. Okay, I think we'll throw a dog forward at you just for the extra experience. It's only 1 experience actually. No, I'm just gonna Fluid Knight this ad then, or whatever is alive at that point. And then for you, I'm gonna play it safe actually and play both of my transform cards, so no matter what happens, I don't accidentally fuck up the mastery, because it would be nice to have. Okay, you're very fast today. Actually, first guy in turn order, that is crazy. At least the odds aren't doing that much. 1 damage and poison to the Drifter, he can tank it, that is fine. Okay, yeah, I'll just slap the boss for probably nothing. Oh, actually 2, which is still not that much, but whatever. And then we'll heal you for 3. General, you guys have the cross signs with DBD perks, yeah. We'll make it flip-flop, etc. Those were the times. Okay, throw a javelin at this idiot. -1, unlucky. What are you doing today? You're slapping for 1. I can probably tank that on whomever is affected. Just summon my guy here. You slap the boss for not that much probably, but enough to make the ad go away at least. And then I guess I'll Fluid Knight the boss. Make the other ad go away. And then we can move this shadow over here where it needs to be for the future maybe, in case we ever get to set anything like that up again. None of these ended up stacking loot on any of the tiles, that is a shame. I guess I'll just loot this one then. Yoink. D-Rifter, it is punching time, the time where we punch the shit out of this boss. Ooh, -1, boo. Tank is empty. No more extra damage. Unlucky. Still not out of reinforcements. Jesus Christ, look at that guy. It's fucking invincible. I'll click on these 2 just in case we do end up using the attack, but I'm not planning on it. Drifter. I would like to get rid of this poison and brittle on me, because that is actually a little scary. I could do a... this is very slow though, I don't really like being that slow. I think I'll just do something like this. Planning to shoot this guy and heal myself with that, if it needs to be. Having a farm loot, good man. Yeah, maybe. Okay, long rest for you, which is a little bit scary because you're brittle and 5 HP next to a guy that might just stab you, but we'll find out how bad this is gonna get. I don't think I have a good way of hitting you for many damage today. Yeah, it'll probably just be this, which is also pretty slow. Not a great turn for me today. They're also both relatively fast. We're still faster in most things. Who the fuck is that, anyway? Oh, that's the reinforcement. I did not recognize that portrait at all. Cubes Gamble workers like his attack deck modifier, like you should stay the fuck away from casinos. Nah, me Gamble. 90% of gamblers quit just before they hit it big. That won't be me. Right, let's start by shooting you, ideally. Very good. And I'm getting a slap for a 3 today, since I'm fastest, so I should probably get rid of this poison and brittle on me, because that is not great. 90% of scenarios end before I find Bless. Joke's on you, I already used a Bless today, which is very above average for my standards. Reinforcement guy goes here, I go here. We give you a slap for 4. Which kills the ad. Now you take 2 damage from bleed instead of 1. Look at that brittle value, incredible. Bonk. Go here. Start eating this guy's ass. Ooh, damage. Not much, but damage. We go again. People that are immune to poison are cheating, honestly. That's not okay. Transform back. Oh, nice, the minion kills him. Let's fucking go! Here, have a shadow. And tragically, she's long resting, so I can't even loot the pile. Unlucky. Can loot this pile at least. Yoink. Hey, it didn't even show me the loot, what the hell? Oh, empty loot deck, I see, so there's a pretty strong limit on how much stuff we can even have gotten here. So yeah, we looted all there was, never mind. Good! That was a very successful mission. This one is weirdly easy after how hard the last one was. Empty as in we have made it empty. I've looted so much that there is nothing left in it. Not that there was nothing in it to begin with. No, there's a limited number of cards in loot deck. The game is smart enough to not give you infinite resources. So we got all the battle goals, which is nice. Was not too hard at the end of the day. And we got the mastery for the Geminate, so he gets another perk point, which is lovely. Yeah, I guess that's kind of most of the important stuff. No loot for Banner Spear. Banner Spear is just kind of getting fucking shit on most games. It's a little sad. Very heavily just been tanking, even though I'm not using the funny armor ability. Did get 8 XP though, which is good. Only 1 XP for Geminate, but I guess I was kind of locking in on the mastery, so that's probably worth it. And everyone ding-dings as well. My loot copy behavior has been thwarted. Yeah, it's empty. It's no more. Although, to be fair, you did get a bunch of stuff. You didn't get the most stuff, but you did get a bunch of stuff. You've collected 4 loot things, so it's not nothing.
For the 100th, no, 1000th time, you bob, weave, dodge, strike, and skewer. Blow after blow until, at last, your blade lands true. With a final roar, you drive the war chief from the summit, his body tumbling into the abyss below. The few vermlings still standing break and flee, terror in their eyes.
Yep.
You draw a ragged breath, the cold burning your lungs. Your gaze drifts to the cliff's edge once more. No one could survive that fall. No one.
Yep. Definitely not drawing attention to that.
A threat was vanquished. One that might have drowned the land in blood and fire. With the war chief gone and his war band scattered, it's time to turn back. The path north still calls, and your journey is far from over.
Assault on the Wall Chief, quest complete. New mandatory quest unlocked, the town in flames. Do we get a outpost phase in between that? Nope, we just hard send it. Unlucky. So there's the third Link scenario, or the third mission in a row before we can go home and be a family man. Okay, this is the first scenario of the actual board game as well. These previous ones that we've played were all of the 4 made-up scenarios, like the digital game version, only the added, like, prelude thingy. So yeah, now we're getting to the real game. So we're fighting some Algogs today, which is these weird horned guys that are a lot like this guy. We have guards, archers, and priests, and archers do insane damage, priests are insanely annoying sometimes, and guards are usually not so bad, unless they have one of their moments where they decide to be really annoying. I am pondering if I want to stick with this deck, or if I should change out Tip of the Spear again. Or Resolved Courage. Not really finding that much use for at all costs. Both of these sides have been helpful, to be fair. Also not sure about the banner. Maybe we'll get rid of the banner today and find out if we... Oops, I unequipped this one. Wait, I had that? No, I wanted... Do I want this card then is the question. We do have to go a little further this time, so having another move card is probably good. Yeah, fuck it, that seems right. You! No new perk for you either. Unfortunate. No banner, spear. Yeah, just spear. Could try... Actually, I don't think I can do masteries in this mission. It doesn't inform me in advance, because it's only relevant for these couple tutorial missions, but I think I can, so I'm probably just gonna stick with this deck, honestly. There is a guy with armor in here, which is the priest, so I do probably want some armor pierce, but these two have perk points, so let's go spend these. I am going to get rid of 2 -1s. This character's attack modifier deck, as I've pointed out before, but I will now do it again, because now there's people here. This attack modifier deck becomes disgustingly strong. We are actually able to remove all of the negative cards, aside from the mist, that always ends up in your deck, and that makes it very consistent and, like, overall very, very strong just for damage. And you should possibly even have 2 perk points. No, you only have 1, shame. But still, another free perk point, why not? We take those. We could get rid of the -2 now, which is what I'm usually gravitating towards. Yeah, let's get rid of the -2. Not leaving up to a single of -1 by it? No. Well, you can still draw the miss, and you can still get cursed and eventually end up drawing the curses and shit, so it's not as free or as consistent as you might think, but it is definitely very, very nice to have an attack modifier deck like that at the end of the day. Kill 1 or more elite enemies or 2 or more for 4 heroes. That is unlikely for you. Perform no attack abilities in the first 3 rounds. What am I doing with you if I'm not using attack abilities? Probably absolutely nothing, so let's not do that. 7 or fewer experience before any bonus quest experience. That one we can probably do. Never kill an elite or boss. Lose a card to negate 5 or more damage. Suffer damage from an attack in the same round you long rest. We're probably not getting this one. I don't like the don't kill an elite guy, especially since on 4 players there are so many elites around. So that's probably not happening. Lose a card to negate suffering 5 or more damage might happen, but I can't really set it up. Like, I technically can help make it happen, I guess, in some circumstances, but it's pretty unlikely. And those suffer damage from an attack on the same round you long rest, you can sort of force, and since I'm in control of all 4 characters, I guess I could brute force this towards the end, maybe? But this is not a completely free mission most of the time, so I don't know if I want to be forcing that. I think I'll click on this and hope it happens to show up. If yes, great. If not, I guess we'll miss out on the 1 perk point. From 2 actions with lost icon in the same turn, that is not happening. 13 or more experience before any bonus experience, that is very unlikely. Very unlikely. Not impossible, but very unlikely. Kill an undamaged enemy with a single attack action. Possible, but hard given the enemies that we're facing. I'm probably gonna go for this. It's not great. Rambler, and no more than 3 of your turns in the hex in which you started the turn, except when long resting. That is probably not super hard for Geminate, since we need to move around so much, shifting between the ranged and melee forms. Kill 3 or fewer enemies. We technically have other characters that can do the killing, but it is not easy to guarantee. Collect 2 or more loot bags by performing a loot ability while adjacent to 1 or more enemies. I don't even have a card in my deck currently that has loot on it, does I? Does I? Yes, do I? Yeah, I'm not playing either of the loot cards currently, and I don't plan on changing that. Okay, let's try moving a lot then. This is the sort of battle goal that I usually forget about and then end up accidentally fucking up. Surely no one would disarm an enemy while you're napping nearby. The thing is, you killed him anyway, so it didn't end up mattering. It was more the other turn where no one was around and he chose to make me suffer 1 damage rather than attack me. It does noticeably here specify... Where is it? Suffer damage from an attack, so it has to be an actual attack action rather than just some random effect, which is pretty annoying.
The sounds greet you first. Muffled metallic pangs, a voice.
Move no more. No, it says don't do. Oh wait, I should.
It's difficult to make anything out with the wind rushing past your ears, but you'd know that tune anywhere. There's a fight up ahead. But a fight means people. And if there are people, then the town must be close. You hear more, a scream, the crash of steel against stone, a deep, earthy growl.
Roar.
You're running now. Your legs are wasted from the hike. Your shoulders ache from your gear. But the sounds are close now, and up ahead, you see the gauzy orange light blooming in the air. With one last push, you round the final bend in the trail, and you see it. Frosthaven, engulfed in flame. Great petals of fire burst from windows and crawl over roofs. People stream from the town's ruined gate, their faces bent in panic. A moment later, you see the object of their terror. A massive creature with 2 legs and 2 hulking arms, covered entirely in thick white fur. 3 gnarled horns crowning its head.
Aldok's raiders!
Cries an elderly porter beside you.
We're doomed! They're stronger than anything else alive! We've come all this way for nothing!
As if to prove the point, the Olgox you've been watching catches a fleeing outposter with one hand and hurls him backward as if he weighed nothing. 10 days you've been hiking. 10 days, and this is what you find. You breathe out a thick plume of foggy air and hoist your weapon high. Time to get to work.
Yeah, that's so weird, dude. 2 arms, 2 legs. That's actually wild. Yeah, like people. Nah, fuck it. I'm not here for people. I do want to point out again that these artworks are really cool for these loading screens, and it's giving me serious Warcraft 3 vibes, where any of the random artworks look super detailed and like a little gnarly, pretty cool overall, and then you go into the actual gameplay, and the actual gameplay is the fucking Warcraft 3 cartoony, blocky, weird, early 3D artwork graphics. Except it's not quite like that, it's just this, like, very generic...
Aldok's raiders! We're doomed!
So here. So, Art, the battle goal is... End no more than 3 of your turns in the hex in which you started the turn. As in, you can't stay still more than 3 times over the course of the scenario. It's not don't move, it's move. So quite the opposite of what you assumed there, or understood there. This goes here, this goes here, you go here, I guess. Actually, you could also be here instead. Anyway, so we are dealing with some assholes. So there's a guard. The guard is pretty basic. Sometimes they stand around a lot. Like These two actions here mean they don't even do anything, they just stand still. So if you're not next to them, you don't even get slapped. This is a priest. Priests are fucking annoying. They have not quite, I think. Actually, these are the same cards that the other priests have, so yeah, you guys know how bad priests are. And these are archers. Archers are fucking awful. They can shoot at very good range, they can set traps, they can immobilize, they have like attacks that just shoot you for 4 damage baseline at range 3 and 4, like goddamn. And this range, fucking range 5 4 damage card, like these are really annoying. So we also, in this scenario, it didn't specify that here. Oh, this time we're getting special rules mentioned here, so I guess it's only the intro that doesn't have these here. So we have some city guard allies. The allied city guards have assumed defensive positions, bolstering their shield by value by 1 and retaliate by 2, but will not attack the enemies on their turn. Protect as many city guards as possible. So there's guards sitting around like this guy. They have 2 armor built in basically, and they have melee retaliate, which means they still slap backwards. Still nothing on masteries? No, masteries are disabled. I can't click on masteries, so we can't get masteries during this. Which is how it is in the board game. You can't get masteries in the first mission, so they kind of just arbitrarily didn't specify this further. Sitting guards, yeah, basically. But yeah, that's fine. They will draw some attention, and with 2 armor, they are relatively sturdy. Not like massively sturdy, not the sort of sturdy where like, oh yeah, we don't need to worry about these guys. They do have a habit of just disappearing, but relatively they are on the sturdy side. I do think I want the armor buff this time around. So I might mostly just be sitting here for the first turn. Which is probably okay. I think I throw a javelin at this guy and activate my buff. You probably just activate your buffs. You're probably gonna do not much else. You're the only one that can actively do things currently because you don't have to activate shit. However, if I'm early, you're just gonna shoot me to shit, which is not what I want in life. We could pull the priest with Into My Embrace, pulling him 1-2 closer. Any useful bottom action here? So we've done the morph every turn challenge, so we don't need to focus on that too hard anymore. There's another mastery challenge, of course, but that one we probably aren't gonna be doing anytime soon. I could get the armor effect. Yeah, sure, let's do that, just to have it active. I am gonna be drawing aggro here by having highest initiative, or rather lowest. Actually, no, my banner spear is even faster, so that's probably fine. Yeah, okay. Hasty Assault. Archer moves a lot, shoots little today. Basic attack and basic attack for these two. Pierce 2 built in, by the way, into the Priest Elite, so he's gonna absolutely murder the shit out of the guard. Good thing I'm drawing him closer to me, so he's not gonna be shooting the guard. 1 damage for banner spear, I accept. 2 damage for banner spear, I have to accept. My turn. So I throw this javelin now at one of the archers, because these are more appealing targets than the guard. And then I activate my bullshit. And then you... I am now looking at this card, and this looks pretty appealing, but I think I'm gonna stick with my plan. I do need to pull this guy in because he's kind of the most important target. So I do nothing through the armor, but I pull him for 2, and then I activate my own defensive bullshit. And we shift to melee. Our allied guard is just sitting here and being shot. Guard slaps my banner spear. This is currently doing 1 damage. I'm gonna block this 1 damage with my shield, because the elite guy here has Pierce, so he will go through my armor regardless of what I'm doing. So I may as well use my shield while it matters. And that was a lot of ow for me to just take. That's why you don't want to go late and slow in the turn and instead actively kill things, but we have too much stuff that we want to use at the start of the game to prepare for upcoming battles, so we kind of had to just sit here and take it for the day. I'm gonna do something risky. I'm gonna walk up here with my Deathwalker, which is not what you should do most of the time, but I want to poison this guy so he starts taking more damage more quickly. And then I fucking leave next turn, ideally. One of the reasons why I can do that, or I think I can do that anyway, is because I can be really fast here with my Banner Spear. So this card has initiative 6, which is really, really quick, even before they're, like, even the funny, really fast disarm attack that they have is slower than initiative 6. So with that I can walk in and basically guarantee that I am going to be targeted. Walk in and you death, that is how Deathwalker works. Almost walks, yeah. I'm trying to plan where I want to stand with everybody. Can't do masteries in this, I keep forgetting. I could just punch the ever-loving shit out of the guard. I think I'll do that. I can stab him 3 times. Initiative 17 is very slightly too slow because he has a set of tank abilities up here. If he does the I have retaliate 2 thing, this kills my entire plan, which is a little bad. In that case, I'll have to find something else to do. Which, with that combination, I basically don't have another option. It's not ideal. I'll just have to not draw that one and coordinate. And 7. Surely that's fine. Like I said earlier, we gamble. We gamble these. We're gamblers. Okay, I'm gonna use the wind here, slap this guy with advantage. That will probably not kill him, but it'll get me closer at least. I'm going to then... Let's think, what are you doing today? I would like to leave. This is a little late. I think the archers are on average pretty quick too, yeah. I would like to go before this section. If it goes this card, then I can't really prevent that. But I can't start first full spirits because it's a little too slow. I probably do this then. Sure. That's on 20. Could give a lot of disadvantage to enemies this turn, but that's a little weak. I mean, I could say fuck it and not do this with you. Because you are only 5 HP. If you go in here and you get shot by everybody, that's not great for you. Maybe I use the Drifter to go here and be tanky. Not sure what my action for that is, though. I want to go before 29, that's kind of the most important benchmark, so that's probably okay. So I do Deadly Shot, and what exactly? Do I just punch this guy very hard? Don't have a good punching card at low initiative. This is a little annoying. I mean, I could do a basic action. What was this again? Yeah, I would like to be before 29. That limits my options pretty heavily. I think I'll just play this for a base attack. I think I'll just go here and basic slap the archer and hope that's enough. Wait, I didn't readjust what the Banner Spear was doing as a result. Whoops. Unfortunate. Okay. Priest is, of course, fast as fuck and shoots a guy with Pierce, Disarm, and good damage. Not Disarm, just Pierce and Immobilize and good damage. I can't really prevent that, unfortunately. Oh, my Drifter is also before my Deathwalker, that's a little unfortunate. So the guard is doing the one action that I would not want the guard to do today. Good, great even, possibly. And the archers do double shots, so they shoot everybody today. Okay, this is a fucking terrible start to the scenario. I would give myself my 2 armor once per scenario, however that does not actually help me because this guy has Pierce 2 built in, so I don't know if that's really gonna do that much for me. Thank you, Advantage, for preventing me from doing fuck all. You know what, fuck it, I'm playing it this turn anyway. It'll at least prevent 1 damage from him, and then it'll also lower the damage the archers do to me. I could have used my boots to instead be even deeper, but that's probably not super important. So I have no action here for my Gemini to take. That's not true, actually. I have the boots for +1 movement. Yeah, I can do that, actually. That's good. Stab you. We draw our brittle thing. Do I prevent that? Yeah, let's prevent that. I don't want to be brittle right now. And I have another attack that I can't do. That's it. Probably shouldn't have prevented that, actually, because I still have my... whatchamacallit? Amulet to give myself life back. Do I heal, or do I slap you for basic 4? I would need to specifically draw my 1 double damage card to do something reasonable to use. I think this might be a rare turn where I actually heal. Loot found. 1 metal. Okay, I'm gonna stab you. I could actually have stabbed the archer too, now that I'm thinking about it, so that would have maybe made the archer die this turn. That would be kind of sick. Well, I'll stab the priest instead, and we'll mark him for death, so he gives a shadow when he dies. Unfortunately, we draw -1, so not good damage, but what can you do? You run here, should be fine. We also got a curse in their deck. No damage from you. I should be able to armor most of what you could be doing to me. Very good. And that's the round. Okay. So I would like to find a way to tip off the spear this guy. I can probably arrange this somehow. That is my piercing attack. So that is probably happening. I do have full charges on my melee thing, so I could do... this... I don't really want to use any of these as default actions. Maybe this one. Sure, I can do a default move here and slap this guy for a lot. You ideally do some damage to some of these guys. Bit low on shadows since nothing has died that I've attacked. Pretty bad start to the scenario for the Deathwalker. I would like to stand here, now I'm realizing. So let's go here and then we can shoot both of these guys. Or not a lot, but at least something. Okay, this card does not shuffle your deck, does it? It does, of course, shuffle your deck, so you could technically draw it again. Could go here, poison both of you, but you're already poisoned, so that's not ideal. Might plan to reckless jab you, but I'm so late in the turn order. We do this first, which means we're stuck in melee for another turn. Let's try that, yeah, fuck it, that's probably fine. Okay, we get to act before all of them, very nice. They are very slow today. Archer ideally dies today because that's a pretty hard hit. Guard also hits very hard today, not great. The priest only heals. So I'm probably actually slapping the guard then, because that is actually an action where the disarm matters. So you go here, and you have a buff that gives everyone attacking you today disadvantage. I give myself poison and a wound, which increases my attack to 4 and causes disarm on the enemy. So we stab this guy for 4 with poison as well, because why not? Stab you for 3, and you're disarmed, and then I use my healing necklace to get rid of my 2 debuffs. And that's the turn. Like I said, still stuck in melee, which is a little unfortunate, but it should be fine. So with this we can give 2 people move 3. I was going to slap this guy with my armor pierce on my drifter. I think I'll stick with this plan still. So we give 3 move to Geminate, move him over here. And then we give you 3 move. And you can stand here so you don't need to move yourself. Does that make sense for what I picked here? Yeah, this is just a basic move plan. Yeah. Okay, so that's okay. I mean, it doesn't really matter where I move you. But yeah, then you don't have to move yourself. And then we do a tip of the spear on you. For 4, that is good. Progress. Already got quite a bit of XP, huh? That's not great. Can I see that somewhere, how much you got? In this scenario specifically? Okay, and then we slap you with the pierce attack. -1 should still be enough. You were on 3, I hit you for 5, I think? Pierce 2? Yeah, that should be enough. Probably not using the... may as well actually, yeah, fuck it. Yep, he dies. Very good. This makes a shadow over here. I'm also gonna do this. Then I guess I move here, so we're closer to the archer for future. And then you... so I played around wanting to shoot 2 people, but now I have put myself into a situation where I can't shoot 2 people. Do I need to change my plan for this, or is this still fine? You're gonna shoot the Geminate for 4 with disadvantage. It's not ideal, but I guess that's fine. Yeah, I'll just shoot you for 2. Mark you for death as well. Bonk. I go here. And then I can move one of my shadows 1 tile, so I guess we'll move it here, why not, fuck it. Not the cleanest shadow positioning there when I killed the other guy, I could have paid more attention to that. Ow. My body. My poor buggy body. Okay. Let's give this guy the old at all cost combined effort thingy combination. We give you a little slap. I think this way we're fast enough so that it actually still does happen in time. Fluid Knight should be able to finish off whoever needs finishing off, and we'll do this so we can move a shadow if we need to, and then you need to play something that lets you change forms so you don't have to skip I'll play this because it's faster. I'll give it a basic attack and then leave. Good, nothing interesting here. Let's see if we can slap him to death. 5. Ooh, ×2, nice. Very good. Very fortunate, but kinda not, like, very lucky, I guess, in terms of getting the high roll. You really didn't need it in this situation. So I can either heal someone for 2, or I can move. I don't really go anywhere useful, given the difficult terrain here. And everyone blocking, so I guess I'll just give it a little heal over to the Banner Spear. Right, then for you, this did kinda mess with my plans a little bit. I was just gonna slap that guy. I'm going to have to long rest soon. You have one more turn in you. I think the Banner has one more turn in her. Drifter has 2, but we'll probably rest after one more anyway. So we do have at least one more action before it's bedtime. Do I burn the card? I don't really need to, I don't think. I think we'll just do a basic attack. Skip movement, slap him for 3. Instant poison. That's you. Deathwalker. More than meets the ass. Stab you. We miss these, unfortunate. Good time to be missing though, honestly. Could be way, way worse. Take this shadow, move it over here. Can't move it into the door on the game, makes sense. It's not open yet. Okay, and then you can combined effort the guy, which hopefully... wait. There. I don't know if I needed to rotate that, but it looked like I couldn't confirm it. Anyway, this does get him killed, which is nice. And then instead of summoning my reinforcement, I guess I'll take this one step over here so I can loot these 2 pouches. One thing you can't really do is you can't really check during the scenario what the loot pile looks like, if there's any like special treasure in there, for example, or if there's anything that you really need to look out for, which is a bit of a shame. I can't pass anywhere useful here without burning a card. So ideally you go before them and get out of the way. Although my melees would like this hex, so whatever I do here, it's not gonna work out. Okay, I'll do this probably, so that way I can kind of move out of the way at least. Don't really have a top action I want to do. Yoo! So I need to move a lot and not transform yet. So I can probably do this move 4 and go here. With the boots, that would be move 5. We already used the boots, I think, actually. Yeah, they are already tapped. Never mind, we go here then, with a move 4, any top action that's helpful. Could heal someone, but everyone's basically healthy. Could activate that, but that would transform me back and I don't want to be transformed back yet. I guess we're just doing this. Okay, Banner Spear first. Goes here. Skip movement, heal self for 1 with regen. I guess I could have used my boots actually, huh? I keep forgetting that I have the jump boots on her. I could have actually reached this tile, which would have been nice. Whoops. That is actually really annoying of me to keep forgetting that. That's just not part of my brain yet. Unlucky. In that case, we'll waste this tile by making my guy here have a summon. Then I walk 2 over here. I use my boots to loot this shot. Yoink. Oh, that just means it's lost. It's not that I can click it to get rid of it. Okay, and then it's Drifter time. Drifter moves here. I forgot to loot this tile first. I'm being way too impatient. Whoops. Wait, did I not click on my move 4 card? What am I doing? Oh yeah, I must have missed the bottom card here. I picked something completely different. Okay, speaking of being a little too sloppy and not patient enough. Don't really need to heal anyone because everyone's gonna get healed from the long rest, so it doesn't really matter. You long rest. You can reach the door before you rest, which is nice. You long rest, but I will probably eat this guy first. So I make my minion go away again. I only summon them for the free 1 experience points. I guess I could go here then with you. Yeah, I don't really have anything to do. So I'll just go here and long rest next turn. Okay, I'm gonna go take a piss, BRB. Hello. Let me pull up OBS so I can make sure everything is running as proper. Very good. Okay. So you go here. Tywin. Skip this attack. City Guard. You go here. Skip your attack. You are long resting. We're getting rid of... What are we actually getting rid of, huh? Could be Resolved Courage. I'm always a little edging with that card, whether I like it or not. Javelin is a little less valuable as well, because my ranged attacks have 1 less range, which I'm not used to thinking about. Might get rid of Regroup, actually, because I don't think I need to heal. We're doing pretty well. So if I enter the room correctly, we should be able to go without me using that, especially since I'm very rarely using the top heal action anyway. Burning Wave of Anguish. Let's loot this, because why not? I forgot to loot it with the other character, which I could have done without me having to waste my item for that, but such is life. This might be a quick rest turn for the Drifter, honestly. I think none of my items are on cooldown. Actually, I used the Hatchet for no very good reason. I'm not massively attached to any of my cards, and if I do that now, this is a pretty good turn to go in. Because I don't really have anything to do on these two characters, and they are pretty important. So I could just short rest on you, maybe even on you as well. And just say fuck it and go in. 1, 2, 3, 4. You get exactly into the door with this. Let's not waste tip of the spear right away again this time. The only thing that makes sense to click on here is probably Javelin, in case there's something close enough. I will be first in the door with this as well, because of the low initiative. Why have I already gained 5 experience points, goddamn? Oh yeah, this buff that I've activated gives me 2. That's why. That makes sense. I could, oops, no, I don't want to break that. I could do this the opposite way around, be a little slower. Bloodletting is a bit of a shame, I do like that. But I think we accept. I would not have picked that if I had control over what I'm discarding, but it's probably still okay. So I want to go in before 21, so I'm picking one of these cards. I might pick No Remorse and just try to go in very aggressively. Try to get some damage in there. There's at least one priest around here, and I do want that thing dead. Don't know if I make that with 5 total. And I don't know if I want to be standing in the very center of the room anyway. It's a very good way of dying. Might Draining Arrows this. Range 2 is not great though. Or I could do this actually. This bottom, this top. That seems like it's gonna be fine. Okay, everyone else needs to be after 20. I can use you to move 1 shadow for 5, and then I can do everything I need with that. There's a world in which this is a little too risky, and I should not be doing that. I would need whatever I'm stabbing to also die sometime soon, but I can probably arrange that. Venomous Barbs, my level 2 card. Not happy. Fuck it. It's probably okay. Could probably be worse. Okay. I would go somewhere here. Just drop Eclipse. Yeah, let me just walk at least 7 more tiles before I do that. No, my plan is I'm gonna Fluid Knight one of the guys that is likely to die, and then I'll teleport in and then drop Eclipse. And then we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm hard planning around using Eclipse in there. That is not a lot of sleep DK. You should fix that ideally. Just sleep better. How hard could it be? Okay, it is time. Let's see how wrong this goes.
You run inside the gate, and the breadth of destruction becomes quickly apparent. The town has been sacked. Smoke burns your eyes. What structures still stand are bright with fire, and the rest smolder. Their frames like black torched skeletons. And all about the wreckage howl the Orgoks, celebrating their victory in an unrecognizable language.
Okay, so what do we have on here? We have Archer, Guard Elite, Archer, Priest, non-elite, thankfully. Elite, Archer, Guard. And then we have a bunch of R guards just sitting here being not particularly exciting. Okay, what are you doing? So the priests just walk into melee and heal, good for them. For that purpose, I would like to stand here. Actually... I would like to be close so they walk towards me rather than towards the guards. The guards are moderately tanky and these are not elite, so they don't have the pierce built in. So I might not need to panic that much. Yeah, I'll go slap this archer first and we'll see what happens. Let's give him a lovely little 5. Never mind, it turns into a slightly less lovely, but still adorable little fucking 3. You shoot very hard today. I am not a fan of that. Fuck the Claire James or some hero guard will retaliate a guy to death. Yeah, probably. I mean, for the guard versus guard thing, that happens relatively frequently, I reckon. Not that unlikely. You guys also hit very hard as elite motherfuckers, Jesus Christ. Banner Spear won't be able to do anything, unfortunately, because of the ranged shot. I could drop the armor. Then I can javelin this guy. Or I fluid knight this guy. I think that's what's happening, actually. Okay, you're just gonna get shot by everybody regardless of what I try here, so I think this is gonna be good enough. Oh, hey. Okay. Did not expect that, but sometimes we get lucky. Very nice. Okay, so... can I not... choose to just deactivate those? Surely I can do that outside of just the list when I get to pick my cards. If you're lucky, I'll get to burn a card. I'll very likely get to burn multiple, but I need to burn it for an attack of 5 or more, which is the difficult part. Yeah, I can't deactivate my buffs. What the fuck? I think you're supposed to be doing that, or be able to do that on every part of your turn. The archer's big attack? Yeah, you know that guy is gonna roll a -1 and everybody else is gonna hit reasonably hard. Actually, these all hit 4/5, so it's probably happening. Can I... There's a thing here... Oh god, that looks awful. Okay, never mind. Yeah, I seem to not be able to get rid of an attack or of a buff at any point in time during my turn. That is weird. I think you're supposed to be able to do that. Oh well. I guess I don't get to kill a guy. No, that just indicates that it's a lost card. That's just the loss icon. Yeah, I agree. You have 11, that is a lot of health. I think I'll go here, pull this guy, and then stab him with the shadow. What a dumb icon change. I dislike pretty much every icon change they've made. Not 100% of them, but most of them. More visible on tablet or some shit. To be fair, the loss icon in Gloomhaven, I've literally yesterday read comments about being not identifiable enough. Like a common issue for new players in Gloomhaven Digital is that they don't notice the loss icon and don't understand, wait, this card is gone forever? Oh, that's weird. So it is, if you remove the context of a different game being played before, like the board game version of this, then I think this is a fine loss icon. It's just that you... Yeah, okay, sorry for mentioning the fucking game that you can literally not think or talk about without immediately having an aneurysm. My bad, sorry. I'll never mention it again in your vicinity. Yeah, I do think I pull him in though, so he has disadvantage on the attack, which is good. Fuck you then, GN. Yeah, you can't GN though, is your problem, isn't it? You just mentioned that. Okay, we move the shadow over here somewhere. Let's say here. And then we Fluid Knight from here into the Archer, who hopefully dies. Oh yeah, I have the spear as well. I could have long-ranged, stabbed someone, but it wasn't really necessary. Okay, very dead Archer, good. So now I got a shadow here, so we can use that to enter the room next turn and do more stuff. There's the first -1. Oh, there's a curse. Very nice. Thank you. We had only one curse in their deck. That was a really good one to draw. Because you draw a +1, but you only attack 3 because you're not elite. Hey, you may now stop drawing very high on attack modifiers, please. Yep, they did not manage to hit me for 5 on the game. As predicted, both of the ones that could have done it instead rolled low. Okay, how do I set this up? I would like to tip of the spear this guy, but it's not happening, I don't think. So I probably just need to do damage. To the best of my ability. I'm probably also going to be relatively deep in here, and I don't think I have the... Oh, I do have the jump boots, right? I keep forgetting that I have them on this character. I don't know why I keep forgetting them. I probably want to be here, so I can slap this guy, which is the important guy. I didn't get to throw my javelin last turn because I couldn't turn off my armor. So I don't have wind now. I guess I could have technically made wind myself with the Deathwalker. I just didn't think this far ahead. Do have an okay meat grinder on this guy here. But unfortunate that no matter what I try here, it's always going to be a two-step process, I think. I don't want you deeper in there, but if I... I kinda need to pull him here for my own purposes. Wait, I can't even do that with my card like that, never mind, I'm done. Yeah, I think I just go here and meat grinder, which is not great. I guess I could technically go here and immobilize this guy, which is also not great. I don't want to rely on my Drifter acting before me, because he's kinda slow. I can't do anything that incredible either if I... just because of that. Yeah, if I go here at least, I'll be able to... Yeah, okay, that's probably fine. So I'll do this, which is a little bit slow on the Banner Spear side, and then you just have to not die. Simply choose not to die. Don't have a pull or anything to slap you. I think I just commit, honestly. Like, Like, I think I just Vile Assault the Archer and hope it dies relatively quickly. I'll need to move there. I could burn a card and just do some more damage. I think that's correct. I think I need to just be quick and kill things as fast as possible. I do have one shadow here, which would allow me to do Lingering Rot at least. Would not be the worst Lingering Rot either. It won't kill anything, which kind of gets me stuck here. It's probably unacceptable. It's actually not that bad, I suppose. Yeah, Eclipse doesn't do anything though, is the problem. I need to play cards that do things. I think I'm playing these two. I'm gonna move the shadow here and then hit all three of these for some damage. You exist. Which is good, because you could hop here. No wait, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I quick rested so I can't actually reach that. I could hop here though. And then eat either of you with Icebound Quills, I think that's correct. I'll transform back though if I do that. I could burn this card instead actually. A pretty good Lingering Rot, yeah. Also, on the flip side, it's a really bad Eclipse, is the other problem with it. Yeah, I think I jump here, disarm these two, and try to stop one of these, which burns a lot of cards, but we're not super long for this game anyway. Okay, of course we get the disarm on initiative 8 on our priest friends. Fucking hate these guys so fucking much. At least you missed, given that I can't attack. Okay, the Archer does a hasty assault, that is not great. At least I get to disarm him first. Good. You slap for moderate, you slap for hard. Is there a world in which I need to prevent that? Because I could throw everything I've planned into the wind and do something else instead. You would get shot for 3, and then you jump here. And you'll have moved here already. You can't attack, but at least you'll be functional. Or a combined assault. I think that's correct actually. I don't like that, but I think I have to do that. Okay, so I'll go here. Change of plans, and we're disarming 2 people, namely these 2 fellas. So the guards don't attack me for 5 each. Because that's a little much for my liking. And then we slap the priest for 5 with Pierce 1. And we see how that goes. Good. Good. Well even. Nice. So the Archer shoots me for 3, plus 1 is 4. I do have my armor, so I can shrug some of that off. You then, since you can't attack, may as well go here for the combined assault of my banner spear. Can't attack, can't loot, can only sit here and shoot. The guards do poison, but I don't think I need to keep that around for that purpose. Nah, I'll keep it around. Don't really need to burn it right now. Okay, and then we move you. No, we move you over here. And then we burn the shadow to attack everyone around the shadow for 3 damage. Starting with you. We mark the priest for death. Nice, we kill the priest. Then we slap both of these just for some damage and poison. Don't really need to mark this guy for death. Oh well, at least he's poisoned, even if he didn't do damage. And then this guy. Some damage and poison, okay, good. Am I planning on using darkness next turn? Probably not. No. Am I planning on using wind next turn? Possibly. Okay, so we'll eat this darkness. And make it wind instead. I'm really regretting this Circlet of Elements. I think if I had the have advantage on one attack thing, that would be overall better. But such is life in the zone. Okay, so we have jump now. And then we jump over here. Then I get to heal someone for 1 with regen. I guess it's gonna be you for now. And then we combine attack someone, and I think it's gonna be the archer, because the archer is scary and needs to die. Okay, I can do 1 more experience on the banner spear. Now it's the guard's turn. These 2 are disarmed, so they can't hit me. However, they are strengthened, so next turn is gonna be spicy. You roll a double damage, so you kill the fucking guard. They've drawn +1, +2, and ×2 so far, hitting the guards, and this guy now misses. So, yeah, good for that guy, I guess. Okay, so I was planning on using... Oh, I can't eat the wind because it gives me experience. I mean, there's a world where I just no longer get any experience after this. Sure, let's assume we exist in that world. Maybe we just do this. So I slap one of these and then I just leave so I can draw attention away from the guards, because I don't mind the banner spear getting slapped a little bit. I could just give it more damage though as well. But these are both lower initiative than the guards, so it's not really very good at tanking for the guards. I could quick rest. Sure. Okay, you are no longer disarmed, so you can start punching people again, which is what I like to see. Speaking of punching people, these guys are gonna be a royal pain in the ass. Bit low on good punching cards, because I didn't get to play my turn last turn where I would have punched a lot. It's not great. I guess I just punch you. Like so. It's time for you to join us in here, I think. We're gonna be slow so we don't get murdered. And you, finally. These are both poisoned, which is nice. I do not have my... Why does this say heal 1 on you? I am confused. I think something in the UI got stuck. I think I just stab quite a lot, honestly. I think it's just massive stabbing time. Okay, guards go fast but are only defensive today, so massive stabbing time once again is not paying out in the way that I was hoping for. What is the archer doing? The archer is shooting hard and not moving, and the priest hits for basic. Actually, input reading you. That is always what happens when you set up for a turn like that. Like, there's no exceptions. It's just how that goes. I'm tempted to give this guy a little stabbing before he gets his armor and retaliate, but I think getting rid of the archer as quickly as possible is probably better. So next attack does +1 damage, we eat the wind, slap this guy for 4 with advantage. Becomes 6, very good. Okay, that was the last experience for Banner Spear. Ideally, anyway. And then you... Snap this guy. Before other bonuses. Okay, that's a dead archer, very good. Yeah, the heal interface thingy on this guy is just stock for some reason, I don't know. He's a bit weird. I'm gonna just stand here, I think. So we can start punching the guards and tanking the guards, I guess. Okay, so the main problem is that I can't go anywhere and do anything useful now. I'm tempted to just accept some pain and give him at least one slap anyway. They are still poisoned at least. Could give him a 4 with this arm for next turn. Yeah, I think that's fine. So, poisons off. Bleeds off. Slap. I mean, neither of these really matter too much. The more health guy, or the guy that we're focusing. Let's do the guy that we're focusing. Neat. Some damage, we take some retaliate, that was fine. And then we wander over here. Do a little looting. Getting 9 gold, down. Priest, choose this guy for 1, I think. And Deathwalker, we teleport over here. Then we make a bunch of shadows. Let's have 1, 2, 3 maybe. Actually, I kind of want one close to me. Let's do that. Shadows. Made. Okay, and then for you, you're kind of low on bullshit. I can't do any more useful cards. So I gotta do basic actions so I don't accidentally go over 7 experience. For you... Probably gonna have to do a basic punch. Or I could shoot that guy, I guess, and then do a multi-heal. Doing a heal on my Geminate would be lovely, just to get rid of the bullshit. But 1 damage is just not a large number. It's fine, fuck it. Oh yeah, it's doing the thing again, where if I unselect a card it becomes the number 1 slot, the other one does. Okay, for you, you go and be mean to people, so you go here and stab that guy, and then stab him again. Oh no, wait, I can't do both. Yeah, I could stab this guy for 6, which is probably correct. Sure. Let's do that. You, my bleeding friend. I guess we'll just go and poison the priest. Fucking fast-ass priest, man. Get a fucking curse on my dick. Ugh, disgusting. I don't want that shit. So, we basic walk over here. What are the guards doing? They hit hard today. Very hard. Very not good for me, but such is life. So we eat the shadow that we're standing on. We have to confirm which shadow we are standing on, apparently. I could have stood over here, actually. I am stupid. I could have attacked him at range, so I'm not in range of him killing me afterwards. Anyway, this guy is dead. Let's get our shadow back under us. Drifter. Yeah, I'm just gonna do this anyway. Just to cleanse the debuffs. I'm gonna give him a basic slap though rather than the model slap. Ooh. Good damage, my friend. Geminate hops over here somewhere. Where exactly do I want to be? I don't really want to tank that for the guard, honestly. I'll be here. I think that's fine. And then we slap this guy for 1 with poison, which becomes 3. Oh boy. Very nice, very nice. Very good. But yeah, Drifter slaps the big horde, so he is good like that. Banner Spear. All you can really offer currently is basic slaps. So I guess you go here and slap him for a basic 3. Thanks to the poison. Never mind, you miss. Not even the curse, just a regular old miss. Gets some money, and now the Deathwalker dies in 1 shot. Yep, because they draw a double as well. See, this is how you block a attack by or worth 5 or more damage, Mr. Drifter. That's how you do it. You just stand next to the guy that slaps for 6, and then you get hit for double, and then you fucking burn a card to prevent 12 damage. Challenge accomplished, Drifter. Look at how that goes. It's very easy. What am I doing with you? I can't do any of the good stuff because you will get too much XP. I don't want to just sit here and rest because, I mean, it's kind of pointless. Sure, goodbye that card. So I'll click on this so I have aggro at least. And I'll give him a little slap because why not? Actually, I can just do this. Hit him for 4. On this card as my basic action because that card does nothing else. Okay, you have to rest. I might as well quick rest because the battle's almost over. Yeah, sure, we can lose that. That's okay with me. I mean, this guy slapping me one more time is basically my last chance of ever getting the fucking eat shit for 5 and burn a card to prevent it thing. But it's not happening anyway because I have the armor buff on me, so even if he hits me for his basic, that goes down to 4. If he hits me for 6, that goes down to 5, so the chance is like really low of that happening. Is that worth playing for? Should I be doing something else with you? It's kinda not really worth playing for. That particular attack card and another crit. To be fair, if it crits, there's quite a few cards that can make it happen. Yeah, drop the armor from the Drifter. I can actually, but I kinda... I guess I didn't want to because it gives me experience whenever it triggers, but if I'm going for that, then I may as well, yeah. You're right. You are correct. Yeah, you just go here. You go as fast as possible, so you can draw attention to yourself, and we're not killing this guy, so I guess I am... Yeah, I guess I'll go here and loot or something, who knows. You need to sleep. You are in ranged form. So we need to play 2 turns of ranged form. What are we doing today? Oh yeah, I can heal these guys. I have never thought about that. Pretty low on reasonable ranged attacks, aren't I? Finally you could jump or fly or something. Only I was a swarm of bugs, not bound by the common pedestrian issues. think I'll do this to him. I'll give him a little slap on the model. Or I just stand here and accept the fact that I'm probably resting. Yeah, let's activate this as well. Yeah, let's just do that. Get some more experience in. If you're NPC hero, yeah, true. Although those also don't fly, I think. I can't javelin anything. He is slapping for 5 today, so if there ever was a turn to do the thing, it would be this one, Mr. Guy. So we go here, we get a little skip attack, but we do the loot. Let's give him a chance to fuck up the attack modifier roll first before we celebrate. Let's not get crazy here. See, I can draw the -1, he can draw the -1 as well. This has been demonstrated. Give myself a ward. Yeah. This changes me. Guard turn. Algor's guard turn. Oh, he draws the +1! Oh my god, it's all working out. I could have even kept the armor and gotten another experience from it. God damn it, we fucked up. Redo. Have to redo the entire scenario. God damn, they hit high. Never mind, this guy hits low. This guy would be dead if I hadn't drawn the -1. This guy shoots me for a lot. Long rest for you. Oh, I have this challenge to kill an undamaged enemy with a single attack action that has not been accomplished. Whoops, that's probably not happening. Any of these useful for any experience? I guess we can go review now. Blame Ard, indeed. Yeah, how dare you, Ard. You've done this to me, very clearly. I can't reach him. I want to reach that guy and do something useful, but I just straight up cannot reach him. Because I'm one too slow. We could... Let's gamble. We quick rest and we get the move 4 card back. Fuck, we redraw. Ah, there we go. See, gambling always works. You should just, like, accept gambling in your life. Now we can move 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we can start slapping this guy. We win the 50-50 on the second try, as is proper. Okay, anything else I can do here for some more experience or something? I'm not just vile assault this guy, and yeah, I guess that's just what's happening. You do this and move shadows just in case we need to. You are stuck in melee form without anything to melee, so I should either long rest. Yeah, I'll just long rest, fuck it. Hurt me, snake. Okay, we go here. Give this guy a little slap. Poke. Priest hits my poor Geminate for -1 with the armor, that's 0. That was the last charge of the armor, I think. Fluid Knight time. Let us do Fluid Knight here to this guy. We mark him for death too, just to show him what's up. He immediately dies from this, as he should. I keep forgetting about that guy in the corner there. He's gonna slap that guy and kill himself, very good. Unless he somehow rolls... No, he literally cannot one-shot this guy. Okay, good. Yeah, okay, good. And then we move here just to get another loot bit. Yoink. Then we have the D-Rifter, and you do some murder on this guy. Very good. Dead of that guy, and then we move and we yoink this loot bit. guard kills himself on the attack. Actually, oh fuck yeah, he's gonna hit the banner spear now that the banner spear is here. I may have forgotten about that, so this cost me another turn of my life. I boost this guy's head. He had it coming. You rest. I'm gonna... Actually, let's not do this one because that is free experience. One, two, three, four, five. I don't reach that. Fuck. I'm trying very hard here to find 2 cards that I can play where I get experience from both of them, and I think it's just not happening. Oh well. I eat Shadow to make... Wait, no, I don't eat Shadow, because this could ruin your day. You do not want experience, so I'll be slow for a basic punch. You do whatever and don't matter at all. You... I can probably give you 1 experience from this. You just activate this, so you get an experience from that. And that's it. Okay, they do the fucking extra block and retaliate, so he is taking as long as possible to die. Very good. Good for him. Do a little looting. Snow Thistle, yay! Herbs. You go here somewhere. Actually, is this in range? 1, 2, 3. No, okay, so we go here. We play Dark Fog over here on you, hopefully killing you. Good. Free Shadow for the road. And turn. You activate this. For a free experience point, very good. And then you can't activate this because there's no enemies in the area. So you skip attack. Keep. Banner is done. Can not go and loot this. Oh, there's a guy right here. I should loot that guy. Another loot, and now you get another free loot. Oh, nice, another Snow Thistle. Neat. See, nice and easy. That's how that's supposed to go. None of those fucking crawl across the finish line with every limb broken and completely battered and bruised. 3 out of 4 characters. That last guy hard bleeding out to these fucking armored dickheads like we had at the end of last stream. Goddamn. Okay, let's have a look. We got... Yeah, you didn't get your challenge, but the other 3 got theirs, so that is pretty good. You got some lumber, doesn't really matter, you didn't get to... This is not the character that's looting a lot of stuff for me, huh? So having you with the personal goal of looting all of the herbs is not great. Or 5 out of 6 of the herbs at least, I guess. Oh well. Yeah, what's the damage looking like? Pretty even aside from Drifter overperforming a little bit. Would probably be slightly more balanced if he hadn't finished that last guy with a fucking insane crit. And if we hadn't played around the quest thingy, like either of you would have gotten a little bit more damage. You could have also definitely had more damage if we didn't do the challenge where we couldn't get more experience, so... Pretty good, pretty well balanced character this time. Okay, so we get a little lore here, and then afterwards I'm gonna call it a stream, so enjoy yourself some more narration. I'm gonna try not to accidentally skip it this time.
You lower your weapon and breathe as the remaining Ulgoks retreat, scurrying from Frosthaven like giant white mice. They'll be back, you're certain of it. But for now, you can rest. You wipe the soot from your face and take stock. Frosthaven is almost exactly what you imagined. A knot of grey stone and timber, surrounded by sharpened palisade walls. A place where mere survival is an everyday concern, and where only the desperate could feel at home. Thankfully, though, the townspeople are tough. They're already on their feet, dousing fires and picking through rubble. In fact, one of those townspeople is marching right for you. A sharp-featured human woman with a fighter's muscular build, close-cropped hair and dark skin approaches and offers a gauntleted hand in greeting.
The sea be praised,
She says, crushing your fingers with enthusiasm.
we wouldn't have held out much longer without you.
You nod and ask what happened.
Oh, just life up north is all. I'm Satha, mayor of this fort, now that my predecessor and his lieutenant have fallen. As for the Olgoks, they've been at us all winter. Took them months to break through, but they finally did. Probably killed a dozen or so of my men. Would have done worse if you hadn't shown up.
You explain who you are, that you've been sent from White Oak. At the mention of the capital, her face scrunches up in displeasure.
It's about time they sent someone to help fix this mess they made.
She says, then tries to lighten her mood.
I don't mean to be ungrateful. I'm overjoyed to be still among the living. But a lot more people would be alive if your employers, the Merchants Guild, never stuck their noses in our business. I've spent my whole life here in what was once a fishing village, living and letting live with the Olgoks. Until last summer, that is, when the Merchants Guild sent some garrisons and bureaucratic types up here to see how Frosthaven could be of more use to the Empire. One of their expeditions proceeded to muck about in an Olgok's burial site, and the next thing we know, righteously angry Olgoks are attacking us. The Inkstains immediately hightailed it out of here, leaving just a handful of soldiers behind to keep us safe.
Satha clenches her gauntlet tighter and tighter as she tells the story, but now releases her grip.
I've had to learn a lot of things in the last year. The hard truth is that the Olgoks refuse to be reasoned with. And the only way to stay alive and keep this place I call home is to win the fight, regardless of who started it.
Her face softens and she clasps your shoulder hard.
There's not many of you, but I'll take what I can get, especially now that our garrison's been thinned. And as it happens, I have an idea.
She turns and gestures to the town's smouldering walls.
We took a beating in that fight, so if we're gonna survive much longer, we'll have to do more than just sit around and wait for the next attack.
She sizes you up carefully.
I've already sent a scout to track the Olgoks back home to the mountains. Drop your gear at any longhouse that's still standing and rest up. As soon as you're ready, I want you to get over there and find a way to slow these attacks.
The bunks in the remaining longhouses are all occupied by the injured, but you find a dry stretch of floor to lay your heads on your packs. You doubt you can sleep after the horror that greeted you in this little outpost. But before you know it, a young Valrath man is nudging you awake.
Wake up.
Satha's scout has returned with his report. He tracked the attackers to the foothills of the Kopanek Mountains, where they entered a cave at the base of Snowscorn Mountain. Interestingly, a smaller band split from the main group before they reached the cave and hiked around to the mountain's deadly eastern face. The scout didn't see where they went, but he suspects a secret entrance to the Olgok's stronghold.
One last thing.
The Valrath says as you wipe the final dregs of sleep from your eyes.
Another group is moving towards Snowscorn. They were Olgoks, no doubt, but they're dressed differently than the ones who attacked us. They carried long sticks and had some wild animals with them. I don't know if they're going to attack the mountain or reinforce it, but either way, you'd better get there quick.
Yeah, fucking normal mice behavior with their 2 legs and 2 arms. Indeed. Just grabbing takeout for lads. Yeah, take out fucking humans from the settlement. Like, hey guys, we went to the settlement and grabbed some humans. Anyone want some? Chicken humi, or well, humi nuggies, or whatever you would fucking phrase that. Anyway, so we get 6 morale. I think this is tied to how many soldiers we saved. We have 2 new quests available, Olgok Scouting and Olgok's Offensive, and the game properly starts here, basically. Haven once again has quickly established that shit sucks all around. Yeah, it's a pretty rough time.
Soldiers bearing White Oak's insignia ride into Frosthaven on horseback. They drag a half-dozen sorry-looking men connected by a long chain. One of the soldiers drops from his horse, handing the reins to a waiting town guardsman.
Where's Medical Imlaw?
Sather greets the soldier.
Dead. Algok's fist. Maybe it was a spear hose. Either way, I'm in charge now.
The soldier grunts, sizing up the new mayor.
New contingent of prisoners. Thieves. Drifters, mostly.
Sather folds her arms.
We're not a prison. The people here stay by choice, and we don't have room for layabouts.
The soldier brushes her off.
Put them to work. Put them to death for all I care. They're delivered. Find a place for them. Unless you'd like me to execute them.
The soldier draws his sword and puts it to the throat of the nearest prisoner.
Okay, so every time we come home from a quest, we have an outpost event happening, and this is our first outpost event, even though we didn't really come home, we just arrived here for the first time, but whatever. So we have a dilemma here where we have to pick one of these three options. So we can either allow the soldier to execute the prisoners. We're not doing that, that seems fucking stupid. Encourage Sather to let them work for their keep and go free. I am tempted to click on that and go a step further and offer to house them in your longhouse. Now, given how everything has just been burnt and everything, I don't know if that's that great of an idea. I am usually, like, on nicest option kind of guy, so I am technically interested in this, but I don't know of the downsides if we can afford this. Maybe this needs some sort of... You have to have built X or Y first before you can do this. But yeah, given how this town is, this town's finished, as they say, this might be definitely not A, and being on good terms with these people is probably for the best. Fuck it, let's pick C, let's be as nice as physically possible.
You know firsthand how difficult it can be to get a foothold in Frosthaven, and there's no need to kick these unwelcome guests when they're already down. You offer them a place in your longhouse while they're getting settled. The soldiers resupply quickly and start heading back out the main gate. Sather invites them to stay the evening, but their response is short.
We've heard plenty of stories about the safety of this outpost, and we'll take our chances on the road. Good luck with the prisoners.
Okay, and our reward or consequence, let's say, is a new campaign event. This could be a good thing, this could be a bad thing. Like, we will randomly at some point encounter an event, probably, that will refer back to this and be a consequence of this, basically. Okay, so this is where the main game begins. So we have this town, which is Frosthaven. We have our buildings here that we can, like, we start with a couple. We have a barracks, we have an alchemist, we have a workshop, we have a craftsman. At the workshop, we can build either a raft, a climbing gear, or like a sled, I guess, a climbing gear or a boat, which will allow us to unlock missions that require these to access them. So this is like more unlocks for certain mission types and shit. At the craftsman, we can craft the same shit that we have been able to craft in the outpost before as well. So we will not be able to do anything new here for now, but we can upgrade this guy. Upgrade is a new thing that we can do with buildings that we couldn't do in the previous thing, where we make them better. Like, we get 1 prosperity, which is our wealth in the town. We want this to be as high as possible to unlock more shit. However, it costs resources, and we can only build or upgrade 1 building each turn, basically, whenever we return to the city. And if we do this, we get more blueprints as well for the craftsman. Here we have the alchemist. With the alchemist, we can do potion brewing, potion making. We have our gathered crops up here, not crops, herbs up here. So we have 3 snow thistle and 1 rock root, and what we do is we click here, we click on snow thistle, and we click on rock root, and we smash these together, and we get an unknown potion from this, because we don't know the recipes. We have to find out. So we slap these together. We get a renewing potion. During your turn, recover up to 2 of your spent items. Confirm. So now we have made 1 of these. We can give this to one of our characters. It's probably gonna be you. I think this goes to the Geminate. And we can now, since we know the recipe, we now know the recipe, we can make these intentionally rather than just slapping 2 things together and hoping to find the right thing. So basically every combination of herbs has a resulting thing that we get, and we will over time unlock all of these. or ideally all of these. When you first make one, you get to keep it. It's not just gone from the experiment, so we got to give this renewing potion to someone. And each item has 2 stocks, so if we want 4 renewing potions, we're out of luck. We can only have 2 of them at a time. I'm not entirely sure why that limit is there aside from balance reasons. I don't really see any in-game reason for that to be a thing, but hey, like in-universe, I mean, reason for that to be a thing. But hey, we have found renewing potion. I don't really like this potion very much, so it's not going to be something we make a lot of. When we upgrade the Alchemist, we learn how to decompose potions, and we can, or only potions that contain 2 herbs. Later, there are bigger potions that contain 3 herbs, and by decomposing, we can basically unassemble them. We get one of the materials back, which is pretty nice. Next, and finally for now, we have the barracks. The barracks allow us to train soldiers. We need soldiers to fend off attacks, because this outpost can be attacked as part of the various events that happen. If our outpost gets attacked, like we had in the intro, we don't actually play a scenario for that. We play out a battle combat thingy, like a defense mission, not mission, a defense combat thingy, basically, to make sure our buildings don't get damaged or wrecked, and so we want to be like defensively strong. And part of that is having soldiers, because when we use soldiers for these defenses, we are stronger, so we want to be near or at capacity as much as possible. However, we start with our capacity being full, so that is alright. We can also build some new buildings. We can build... oops, I'm clicking on all of the wrong things. New buildings! We could make the boat, the sled, or the climbing gear. Making any of these are considered building a building or upgrading a building, so this is our turn then if we do that. We also have 3 resource buildings. We have a mining camp, a logging camp, and a hunting lodge for the 3 main resources, which is wood, metal, and hide, or lumber, metal, and hide, I suppose. And we can also build a shabby wall, which will give us +5 defense. Building new buildings always costs money and some resources. Upgrading buildings generally just costs resources. And again, we can only do 1 per turn. We do have a way of avoiding this 1 per turn limit by sacrificing morale. Morale is good though. We want morale to be high because that passively just increases our defense. And if we ever get it to full, we get a special event, which is nice. We want to also avoid this being at 0, although I don't know what happens when it hits 0. Never experienced that. So yeah, that's our outpost. So yeah, we can make new buildings, we can upgrade buildings, we can repair wrecked buildings, which we don't have any right now, which is weird given the context of how we arrived here, and most of this looking a little singed and burnt and broken and whatever. We also can finally, again, upgrade our party, so we can like pick cards, pick perks, all that sort of fun stuff. Since we did level up, let's go and do that. We have 2 perks available for the banner spear, very nice. I'm gonna probably just get rid of the -1s. So we replace one of the -1s with a flip, get 1 armor and draw another modifier. So this effectively thins our deck a little bit, because whenever we draw one of these, we get to draw another card afterwards. And as we are removing the negative cards and our deck gets better and better, this is just like doubly effective. We have a new level up, so we can pick one of these 2 cards, or the old one if we wanted it. We either get Head of the Hammer, which is a very funny card, because if we are positioned correctly, which is not that hard to arrange, we can slap a guy for 7 damage and inflict stun, and get 3 experience points on a card that is then removed from the game. It's a very funny card. Because, yeah, slapping someone for 7 is a very high number. The bottom is also not bad. Move 4, model everyone around you, and make wind. I picked this before when I last played Banner Spear. I shit you not, I have missed the top action every time, without fail. I have not managed to hit the top action on an enemy a single time. But the bottom action is nice, like move 4 is alright, model everyone around you is also kind of okay. But yeah, I think this card is overall just straight up better. It is another AoE pattern thingy that we can do here, which does 2 damage and poison on everyone in the axis. This is not a very difficult pattern to accomplish, so it's pretty good. And it will heal myself and the ally that I'm using to make this pattern. 24 initiative is also pretty good. Banner of Courage I'm not massively a fan of. We'll probably not use this bottom action very much, but this is a very strong top pattern, so I think we pick those. Like the idea of a move 4 model adjacent. Yeah, I did mostly use it for that at the end of the day anyway, so it wasn't that bad that I mostly missed this. I usually just use this, if at all possible, at the end of the scenario, or when there's something really important to hit. And yeah, like I said, it's just... Yeah, I was just not very successful with it. But yeah, this one here is just more consistent, I think, overall. If this had like a move 3 written on the bottom here or something, ideally a move 4, this would be easily the better pick, I think. But even without that, I think it's just slightly better overall, so we're picking that one. which means we're gonna do this, where we sort you by level, add you to my deck, and we remove... Yeah, so the two cards that I'm considering removing the most right now are either Set for the Charge, because this is basically a card that just says move 4, or this one, which is a decent little pattern, but not, like... It's fine, and the bottom half of it is, like, not very interesting. I think the next worst card is probably Deflecting Maneuver, which is just our use wind card to do a little more damage, attack with advantage, and everyone attacks me as disadvantage. It's fine, but it's not great. I think everything else is just slightly better that we have in the deck currently. There's a mastery for this class, which we cannot see here unless I find the right spot in these various menus. Let me just do this so I can leave this menu. Mastery. So there's a mastery here to hit 3 different enemies with each of 3 different area of attack abilities. So if we have all 3 of these bigger AoEs and we manage to hit all 3 of these on all 3, or like on 3 different enemies each time, that is another mastery right here. So I'm tempted to just send that right away, because we could just try to assemble this. And with 4 players, there are enough random guys running around in terms of enemies that it might just happen. So I might be willing to put away Tip of the Spear, maybe, because it only hits 2, and then we bring that as our tech card against Pierce. And then we put Unbreakable Wall back in, because that's another hit 3 guys thing. So with that, we now have 3 cards that do actually have 3 area, like 3 different targets, or up to 3 targets. So it would be possible now to do this. And I would like to get it, because free perk points are always great. So, level up for our Drifter. We have either Fierce Barrage, which is just slap 2 people in this pattern, very nice. Or on your next 6 ranged attacks, gain +1 target, which is also pretty good for a more ranged focus build. I am not doing that most of the time though. Or we have Dual Bow, which lets me shoot 2 people at range 3, which is pretty decent, and a Loss that regains 4 uses of 2 of my active bonuses, so basically like an emergency recovery for 2 of my buffs. When I last played this guy, I picked Dual Bow. I ended up not really fucking with Dual Bow that much. Like, on paper, the flexibility of having a ranged attack here and there just seems so nice, but in practice, I find the you hit for +2 melee damage just too strong to not be mostly playing around, so I think we'll go for Fierce Barrage this time for this top action. Oh yeah, we also get a perk. Almost 2 perks. We have done only passive stuff so far for you, so let's now get rid of your -2. Boy, and then we put the new card in. In general, I feel like I need to fix this, because I need to find another card that gets me one of my charges back. This one probably needs to go back in somehow. I need to find something to get rid of it, or get rid of for this. Maybe it's this one. I don't really play the bottom for the heal at all yet in this campaign. We haven't played that a single time. And this top ranged 2 attack, like 2 range is just not good enough to be particularly noticeable, and I don't benefit from the thing, so I think we'll just take the melee that gives me my stuff back and see how that plays out for now. Okay, next is the Death Wanker. We have 1 perk point. We shall continue to make your deck better by getting rid of one of the -1s and giving a +1 instead. Look at this, this is already near insanity. Why does this start saying challenges when I start flicking the mouse like this? Look at that, what the hell? Challenges, description text, some hint. Huh. Some weird placeholder thing I'm triggering by moving the mouse over this too quickly. Oh. Yeah, there's a weird hotspot around here that I'm triggering to get the, anyway, I should stop fucking around with that. Here we have a difficult choice because I don't love either of these cards all that much. So we either have Deadbolt, which is a ranged 4 attack for 3 damage, which is pretty decent. When I burn Darkness, I also curse the enemy and get 1 experience points. 1 experience point. The Darkness effect isn't great. Like, it's not very important. It's basically just like a shoot a guy for 3, which is fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. And the bottom action is move all shadows up to 3 hexes. That's also pretty decent. Like moving everyone for 3 is pretty good. It's like a move 3 basically, but like for it's a little better than a move 3 because I move shadows more than I move myself, I suppose. Initiative 88 is also fine. Like that's a very low number, so you can pick that if you want to go late in the turn. It's pretty good. The top is just a little underwhelming, considering here we had a thing that gives us stab someone for 6 if the conditions are right, or do guaranteed 3 damage. This is shoot a guy for 3, which is like, it's fine, but it's a little, like, meh, it's a little underwhelming. Over here we have Ritual Sacrifice, which sounds fantastic at first, because it also has Initiative 13, which is really fucking fast. You stab a guy in melee for 3, not from your shadow, but you have to actually be there. And then you add +1 for each shadow in or adjacent to the hex occupied by the target. So let's generously say we'll have 2 shadows next to a guy, then we stab a guy in melee for 5. We can already do that from a shadow with Fluid Knight. Like, it's not terrible, and worst case scenario, this is just like stab a guy in melee for 3. But we already have a guy, stab a guy in melee for 3 card, which is this one, and it has Curse, so it even has upside. So I don't love this top action very much. And then for the bottom, remove any number of shadows within range 3. For each shadow removed, gain 1 experience, and grant 1 ally or myself 1 armor. And move 2. This is a terrible payoff for shadows. I don't want to just remove shadows just to get... I mean, I guess if towards the end of the scenario I can just eat all my shadows and like get another 3 or so experience points, but man, that is not very impressive. Like, the effect itself is so awkwardly situational, I think. With the buff someone for 3 armor or myself for 3 armor. I don't know, this seems like not great. In fairness, I've never tried this card, so maybe this card is secretly great, but this does not look good to me, so I'll be clicking on this even though I don't love this card either. Yes, you could burn a bunch of shadows, let someone walk into a room full of enemies and tank round 1. Yeah, but the thing is, right, like if you look at the banner spear, my tank guy, she already has a perk that lets herself just have 2 armor. For the problem with like plans like that is that you need to align it in terms of turn order very well. Like, my Deathwalker needs to be early enough to apply this to someone, which means I need to I need to eat a bunch of shadows and then give this to the banner spear, who then walks into a room with all the armor, which basically means my Deathwalker would skip their turn. So, like, yeah, it's Initiative 13, true, but like I would basically skip my Deathwalker's turn just to give my banner spear a bunch of armor for the purpose of walking into a new room. I would sacrifice a bunch of shadows to do that, which is really difficult to arrange. Like, sure, by the end of the scenario, I often have multiple shadows lying around, but that's because I usually play Eclipse towards the end of the scenario, because I don't need to keep the card anymore at that point. So in early situations, I generally don't have that many shadows lying around that I'm willing to just burn my shadows and essentially skip my turn on the Deathwalker. Well, I don't have to skip the entire turn. I guess I could like eat one of the shadows to instead summon a guy, but that instead that makes my armor buff worse. So it's technically easy. Lol, it's Initiative 13, just go first. But I need to go first and then have the other guy also go and do something while I do something meaningful with my go first action. So I would have to be in a room with a guy that I still want to stab with my top action and then sacrifice a bunch of shadows with my bottom action so that in the same turn, the banner goes into the next room and gets shot a lot. So there's a hypothetical where that is possibly really strong, but I don't think it's that good in the practical world, honestly. Like, I'm just not a fan. I'm not about it. So for Deadbolt, my consideration is either I straight up replace Black Barrage with it, because if you look at these two, you might notice that these are basically the same card. This is shoot a guy at ranged 4 for 2 damage. If you eat Darkness, you shoot for 3 damage instead. And the bottom action is move all shadows for 2 tiles. And this is shoot a guy at range 4 for 3 damage, eat Darkness to get an experience and curse the guy, and bottom action is move all shadows for 3 hexes. So it's basically an upgrade to Black Barrage. So I could straight up replace Black Barrage with Deadbolt, and I am tempted to do that, because I don't even use Black Barrage that much to begin with. But I could also get rid of Wave of Anguish, because I hardly ever play this top action. This lets me attack from each shadow on the field for 3. It doesn't eat the shadows, which is nice, but I don't know, it's another burn card. I already have at least 1, if not 2 burn cards, depending on whether I play Dark Fog or not, so I'm not entirely confident I'm playing this, so I'll keep it like this for now. If we find out we want Wave of Anguish over Deadbolt, then I'll probably switch it out again. And now for the hard part, we have 2 perks over here on the Geminate again. Very good. So, Geminate has kind of a different situation going compared to the Deathwalker. Geminate also has strong effects, like we have another crit in the pile that is fucking fantastic, and we got rid of the -2 at least. However, I can't get rid of these -1s. Geminate will always have these -1s. Oh, never mind, there is actually one here. Place 1 with eat element to make element. Oh, these are pretty disappointing. Should I instead add just the good stuff? Give regeneration and flip. I'm definitely clicking on this. This adds 2+1s that have push 3 written on them. Push is optional, so if I don't want to push a guy because it's awkward, then I can just say no to that. So I don't need to push here. Normally I like to get rid of the -1s and the -2s as quickly as possible, but this card that we're replacing them with is really weak. Like, hey, you can cycle an element into another element, or the same if you need to, which is, +0 is obvious, or like 0 is obviously still better than -1, but, I'll not feel particularly happy about that one. I feel like I just accept the -1s for now then, because this is a really not great replacement in my opinion. That's probably not the right call. Nah, fuck it. Let's at least get rid of a couple. Maybe not all of them. Okay, and here's the hard part, because we now have to pick our new cards. Either a melee card called Mandible Storm. It's an interesting template here, and then... This does not exhaust. It does muddle me, which is interesting. Immobilizes too. The bottom action we're probably never using. This seems terrible. I mean, terrible is an overstatement, but it's not great. A lost card for move 3, have 2 armor for a turn. What about this? So we have 6 damage, only for range 4 or 5. If we can eat the element, we also have advantage built in and bleed. That is fan-fucking-tastic. That is a good exhaust. 6 is a high enough number where I'm gladly taking a loss on a class like this, definitely. And then for the bottom, we have all your attacks this round gain 2 pierce and advantage, but I poison myself. The initiative is catastrophic. That is literally the worst number you could have. Barely got to play the top Mandible Immobilized. Nice, but model not great. I'm generally not super into these AoEs either, to be fair. So I kinda don't love Mandible Storm on principle. You'd have to like put yourself into a really bad position to do that. Whereas being able to just shoot a guy for 6 damage is very good sounding, and the bottom action looks reasonably usable as well. Really the problem is only the initiative, like 50 is just fucking terrible. So 50 sounds like, oh, why is 50 so bad, Cube? Isn't that like, isn't 90 like way worse than 50? The answer is no, generally speaking. You either want initiative to be really low or really high. The middle is the worst part, because you either want to be faster than your opponents, in which case the very low numbers are good, or you want to be intentionally slower than your opponents, in which case the really high numbers are good. The problem is that 50 is neither. You can't guarantee you go first, or you can't guarantee that you go last, so it's just kind of a shit card. You can basically never play this as your first card, or at least you shouldn't ever play this for initiative, because pretty much everything else is better. But yeah, I think we'll take Dragonfly Surge. There's another consideration why I'm taking Dragonfly Surge, which is that we're playing 2 halves here. We're playing a melee half and a ranged half. And if I pick only cards for melee, for example, my melee deck will be pretty good and my range deck will be terrible. So I'll be sitting there like, oh man, I have to switch back to melee so I can play my good card. And then, oh fuck, I switch back to range. And then, oh, I have to switch back to melee so I can play my good cards. Like, I do want to probably even this out a little bit between. Dragonfly bottom or for the Fireplay template. True, yeah. I mean, this is good for any I need to kill a guy. This would also be good for the I stab a guy twice or something. Or in my case, since it's ranged actually, this would be good for the Scarab Flight here as well. So yeah, like for any, you would want to combine those with any of the I actually kill a guy today attacks. Now which of these goes away is the problem. I kind of like all of these ones. Selfless Offering is kind of not great, but it has a switch on it, and the element thing is also kind of, or not the element thing, the heal thing is also kind of nice. Halo of Thorns feels like the worst one to play, so I'll click on that one. That is my slowest card, which feels a little bad, but I'll just have to accept that. Okay, so then we have to decide what building we build today, because like I said, we can build one building every time. So we either build a new building, one of the resource buildings, a bit of wall, or some stuff that unlocks more scenarios, or we upgrade one of our existing ones, either the Craftsman or the Alchemist. I usually am the kind of guy to just build resource buildings at the start of a game like this. Let me quickly click through my characters to see what resources we are the lowest on. We have 13 wood, 5, 8, 10 metal, and we have 10, 11 hide. So we're actually pretty evenly split here. So let's build the mine. So for the mining camp, go to macro. Yeah, basically. It's better to have access to resource buildings and then slowly accumulate resources before you need them, rather than like sit there and have stuff that you can't use anyway, in my opinion. So, we built this. To build this, we need to donate. This is where this is a multiplayer game primarily comes into play, because normally you'd just be like, oh, don't I just like click on my guys and there we go? Like, no, I have to decide which character donates how much. And in multiplayer, you'd have to be like, no, I don't want to, oh, I can do this, I can do that, blah, blah. You like have to discuss it a little bit. Since I'm playing single player, I also know all my characters' personal goals, so I'm not gonna spend the Drifter's money, because the Drifter wants to get to 100 gold, so I'm gonna be not spending his money in particular, but I'll spend his 2 metal and this. So this is on paper fine, right? Especially when you have a menu like this where you can just like shuffle things around. This is fine. On the board game, it's a lot more tedious. You have to do some minor bookkeeping or accounting or whatever to keep track of who has what resources, who's donating what to what building and whatever. And it's very tedious. So there's a house rule I'd like to try at some point when I next play the board game version of this. Which is, or like the tabletop sim version, I suppose, which is that, and I kind of would like to see that in the digital version as well, where these all just go into a communal pile, because at the end of the day, yes, it is true that this character looted the metal and not this character, so maybe this character shouldn't have access to the metal, but at the end of the day, it is cooperative enough of a game that not being able to just draw from the communal pool to, like, make your items and shit is just an annoyance. I don't find it that much of an interesting gameplay consideration. I myself have never found myself sitting in a scenario thinking, oh man, I really gotta focus on looting, or in this case, yeah, now looting with this particular character because they need that item or whatever. Like, it just kinda adds some bookkeeping and some tedium to the resource stuff, whereas if these were all just like, hey, this is our total resources, rather than, oh, I have to click on each of the characters and find out what they have, it would be a lot more simple and easy and comfy and convenient, in my opinion. Which I agree would take a little away from like a small part of the strategy of like looting, and some characters are better at looting than others and blah blah, but those elements I find so minor compared to the big important stuff. Anyway, so that's building now, meaning after we've done our next scenario, when we come back, this will be finished. Now we could go to the world map, and we see all the scenarios we have available. We see a town in flames, that's the one we have completed. You can redo scenarios if you just want to farm them, either for resources or because you missed a chest or something. And we have two options here. We can either go for Algok Scouting, that is us following the group of raiders into the side entrance, I think. And this one is Algok's Offensive, which is face off two distinct groups of Algoks, which is the second group of people that they saw go towards Snowscorn Mountain or whatever the fuck that was. The game shows us on the map where this is, which is nice. The map is pretty big. There are some different areas here with some different, or at least slightly different biomes and different effects and stuff, which is cool. Over time, this list will fill quite a bit. So there will be a lot of scenarios, and this is basically the gameplay loop. You have your town, which is basically like your XCOM hideout, your XCOM fucking facilities or whatever. You send your guys out for a mission, you do the mission, you kill the enemies, you loot your stuff, whatever. You experience some shit, sometimes multiple things in a row and they're story-wise connected, and then you come home, you go back to your outpost, you build stuff, you upgrade your units, well, heroes in this case, you maybe make new items and new potions and whatever, and then you continue. And it's pretty neat. I think this game does this whole cycle pretty well. So, I will call it a stream here. I hope Willy is at this point gaming already. He usually starts around 8, so he should be alive and Resident Eviling.